Hello everybody, how's it going? And welcome back to the As Always podcast. This is episode 129. I'm one of your hosts, James, and I'm joined as always by Tyler.
As always, how's it going, my friend?
Not too bad. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. Excited to be here, as always.
Good. That's great. That's good to hear. I'm feeling pretty good myself to be here also.
That's good, man. For once, it's been a while since you have. So
yeah, true. This could all be lies though. But anyway, today we're joined by two content creators that have been part of the Four Pillars community.
And they're calling in right now. You can hear the phone.
Yep. And that's our boys Walshie and Joe, FoundedScarab. How's it going, boys and gamers?
It's weird to be here. Like, really weird. I know it's the same for Joe, but it is pretty good.
Nah, that's just you.
Well, Joe knew this was coming.
I'm in my element, yeah. Ready. New kids on the block. New James called us Assassin's Creed YouTubers but last time.
Which you are.
No.
Despite denying it,
I'm
top
a
35 AC trailers is the point of no return. We have had this argument several times. You can't go back.
No, I'm a mouthpiece for the Chinese Communist Party. That's it.
Oh,
and
no.
I talk about Assassin's Creed just to get views to direct them to that. That's all I am. Anyways, it's great to be here, lads. Thanks for having us on.
It's what I love about the two of you is you remind me of James and I when we started. just ridiculous.
Now we just need to get Victoria Akin on, and we'll be all set.
Yeah. And you'll be all set, and then you'll really begin your journey as podcasters and Assassin's Creed YouTubers. And other than the fact that Joe looks like James and I had a clone, and it freaks me the fuck out. It's like we've Dragon Ball Z fusioned, and now you've got Joe.
I mean, I'll take that as a compliment, if it is one. But...
I wouldn't. James looks like shit, so it's a bit of an issue. So it's like you are half good looking, is what I'm saying.
I'm a half breed, yeah. That's tough times.
So that's the best comment I can give you. But anyway, another comment I can give a few people is the people that are producers for this great podcast. So thank you to our producers over at patreon.com/as always. Those producers are King Richard III, Josh, Duh Vil Yay, Damian, Olberik, Avry Dobbs, Viridian, Adam, Sundling, Cat94, Nick the Gaming Prick, Real Cinema, Colton, the Creampie King, and Morgan Machac. And Ballsack47 the Liar. Thank you, Sweet Vintage lads, to unpower this podcast. If you like what you're listening to here or watching here and you want to hear more, head over to patreon.com/as always. For just $1 a month, you get exclusive access to the Clubhouse podcast, the best podcast on the internet. Every week this podcast isn't uploaded. Plus, early access to the Cinema and podcast where we spoil the shit out of movies, video games, and TV shows when that happens, when new things are out. Thank you, our producers, for powering this podcast. Alrighty, we'll get right into it. So, for those of you who don't know, Joe and Walshie, our friends here, members of the Four Pillars community, the best community that's out there. We all know that. They're content creators, Assassin's Creed YouTubers, and podcasters. So, do you guys want to tell us a little bit about you for our audience that might not know you, though plenty of our audience obviously does, and how you got started? One, I guess, joining the community, starting to make content, and then hooking up with each other and doing a podcast.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
so,
Joe, do you want to go first, or should I go
sure.
first?
I'll take the lead. I mean, personally, I've been making YouTube videos for like 8 years, so it's kind of one of those things I've just always done. But it was 2016 to 2018. I found the Four Pillars community. That's not true. I found James. But
yeah, boy.
After getting more into that community, I kind of I got inspired, I guess, by a lot of James's content, a lot of George's content. No offense, Tyler.
Well, it wasn't until you said it, so and that's fine.
But yeah, so I kind of got into like video essay type community, and then got more involved in Four Pillars. Stumbled across Jack's channel one day with the peak of content. LA Noir is dripping with style. His best video of all time, which he needs to re-upload. Video. And
what year anniversary? Yeah,
and I guess
why is it gone? Why is the video not there anymore?
It is there, but like it shouldn't be. It's awful.
What?
It's a masterpiece.
Why? What's so bad
It's an
about it
absolute
compared to
masterpiece.
anything else?
It's
I'll have to
it's
watch
nothing
it.
even that bad. But like at the start, I make this just disgusting like sound with my mouth that I don't cut out, and it's really it's horrible.
I'm watching it right now.
It is iconic.
Yeah, I sound
Oh,
dead in that
dude,
video.
it's an issue, huh? you sound like you sound like you don't want to be here. Like that's what you sound like when you're talking in this video. It's like I'm recording this video, but at gunpoint. Like
Yeah, that is like all of my content before like May. It's awful.
I played LA Noire 3 times, and you just sound like someone forced you to do it.
It's like
You sound upset.
my weird uncle that that just is a bit too friendly to me, is making me make this LA Noire video, and that's what it feels like, and that's just what it feels like.
Fuck's sake! I just wanted to make a video essay. That's all I wanted. I thought it was good at the time.
LA Noire dripping with star. What a video!
Phenomenal.
It is truly iconic.
I wish it
But I
wasn't.
mean, but who's laughing now? Well, she 11,000 subscribers. So
Yeah,
I'm laughing.
good shit.
yeah.
I'm laughing. Still funny.
How fast has this happened for you, Walshie, that you've blown up as the next Assassin's Creed YouTuber?
Well, like, I was on 27 for ages because, like, I did some
As in
content
27 subscribers.
Yeah, until like
Pathetic.
September last year. My first video, AC video, was unlisted. It's like a ranking of the AC games, and I sound even worse than LA Noire's Dripping with Style because it's like 6 weeks before that. It's like my first thing. It's like half an hour, but I got about 40 by the end of the year in like 3 months. So I thought by the end of this year I'd go for like 100, because if I could do like 13 in 3 months, I thought that sort of made sense. And in January I decided to just do AC stuff because I knew that was like a thing, and it did alright. So I did that, and then I think I hit 100 when you shouted me out on like the Black Flag stream.
Oh yeah.
Went from like 80 to 120 or something, which was mental at the time. And there's that video as well where I go, I want to thank Lasers for his shout out on the Black Flag stream. I really when I sound just as dead. But yeah, I kept doing Ragnarok. I hit a K in like April, I think. And I've just been going from there really. Just been like really lucky, I guess.
Smashing it.
Doing
Yeah,
bits.
it's a bit of luck, but a lot of it is like hard work and also taking advantage of Assassin's Creed content,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah, of course.
Because they will,
Yeah.
will watch anything. You really can do anything, and Ethan's proof that that's physically possible.
Jesus Christ.
You probably want to make a video on the water physics in Valhalla next. That'll bang. I'm
I
telling you.
reckon I should.
the crazy
5
part is it
trees I
just
wanna
does.
see.
It absolutely does. You can do anything.
Ethan made a video on the potential glitches in Assassin's Creed Empire. It was
He
great.
did not. He did.
Yeah, he
not.
did. Have you
Wait,
not
how do you
seen
make-
it?
How do
Potential
you make a
glitches.
video on potential glitches?
Yeah, where is it? There it is. Assassin's Creed Empire glitches. It only got 610 views.
No way.
Incredible. Back in the day, it was before Ethan's channel like properly like blew up and started doing lots of bits. So
It is
Amazing.
ridiculous. Assassin's Creed's just the cash cow of all cash cows for YouTube.
it really
Hurts my
is.
soul, but
Unbelievable.
The people
worth it.
love it.
yeah.
Oh my god. Remember when Ethan had like that weird intro?
Oh, the one where every time he'd like speed it up a bit more.
When he
Or
was
you talking
fishing
about a
up
different
stuff.
intro?
So he talks about like glitches that happen that he does want to see returning. How is that a thing? How is that a video that Ethan thought about?
He
and
made
was
a
like,
video
"I'll make
on
that."
the River Nile as well.
He did do that. That's a better idea though.
It is, yeah. But he doesn't
glitches
talk
that-
about it. Like he doesn't talk about like the history of the River Nile or anything interesting.
What's
He just talks
say?
about how like there'll probably be boats on it, and you'll probably get to like climb on the boats. Which, to be fair, he was
There will
right. You do
probably
get
be
to do
boats
that.
on a
You
river.
do get to go on boats on the River Nile.
It's probably like 2 minutes long as well, because Ethan used to just find a topic, make like a 2-minute video talking about like barely anything, and then throw it up on YouTube. It was
God,
amazing.
his channel's
an
come so
entrepreneur.
far. He's come so far.
It's making
He's
like a
come absolutely
5-hour Mass Effect
Mental.
video essay retrospective thing.
Yeah,
Mental.
but his content is so fucking brilliant now.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
you know, again,
Well,
who's laughing?
I like
He's
to
got
think-
almost 250,000 subscribers. He's almost got 250,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
So, Ethan Woodgates, the guy that commented on our videos 8 times.
The rate
each.
you guy.
There.
Oh.
Like, he's literally... he's come so far. It's unbelievable. It's beautiful to see. But, anyway,
It really is.
Walshie, Joe, how did you guys end up like getting together and like let's do a podcast? So you've done 4 episodes of the Eagles Call podcast.
Yeah.
So it turns out there's still Assassin's Creed podcasts out there, James. They exist.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's not fully Assassin's Creed.
It's called the Eagles Call.
No,
It's
all 4 of
it's
them
only
are
it's
solely
only
about
Assassin's Creed for the first hour.
It's a coincidence, really. It's a gaming podcast.
Yeah, just
Just really
yeah.
like
That's what I say.
Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's definitely not because we just couldn't think of a name. That's not at all what it was.
Yeah, we argued for
Right.
like 2 hours about a name.
What would tell me about other name options that you had?
Oh, we went on some like random podcast generator website, and we had like the Walshie Scarab gaming experience.
Yeah.
No, absolutely
I
not.
like
still
that.
think we should have gone with
Absolutely
that.
not.
So you can understand why how we got to what we did.
The Walking
Not really,
Scarab
but-
gaming
Well.
experience. That's actually such an epic name. I would have felt so epic watching that, listening to it, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Surely there was other ones. There's other
There's a
funny ones.
few.
What was?
The Marquee podcast was on the table for like 5 minutes.
Oh no.
And
I
that
was
reaction was
basing
why
a
we didn't
podcast,
pick
you
it.
know, basing a podcast on an inside joke is a recipe for success.
We
Well, yeah,
found
you
that.
guys have shown that, yeah. Or
We were
the
thinking,
Assassinate Alexios or Per Usual.
Yeah, that was an option.
Yeah. That
Right.
was up there.
Yeah,
because-
well, and very niche inside joke title is definitely a recipe for success, and we've shown that because definitely once we change the name to something more general and not inside jokey, all of a sudden, weirdly, our podcast has blown up bigger than it's ever been, and that's just a coincidence that
yeah,
that
it's
happened.
pure.
Usually,
It's just
a coincidence.
Susan Wojcicki just pushing you guys. Has
Yeah,
nothing to
she
do with
found
the name.
it, and she really
Yeah.
liked it.
She's pledged to.
I see.
She's the person that's pledged to patreon.com/as always as a gamer vids. That's just Susan Wojcicki.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot.
I
Of
don't know who the fuck that is.
What do you mean? That is
CEO of YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, is it really? Yeah. I don't know what? I don't know who the CEO of YouTube is. I don't know who that is.
Well, how would you not know that? That is ridiculous.
What do you mean? I don't know who that is.
You're on this platform. You've been here for
Yeah.
years.
I've been here for a while, eh? Been
Yeah.
here for a fucking
8
hot
years.
second. Yeah, more than. Yeah, and the
Is it
and the
more than
reality
that?
is, yep, 21st of May was my first video in 2012.
Yeah, it was 8 years ago.
My
Okay,
my
a bit
first
more.
AC
a bit more
my
than...
first AC3 follower update
Yeah. Well, I've
was
been
May
around for
21st,
longer.
2012. You have been around for
A year
longer.
longer.
Yep.
So get fucked.
Yeah,
I
well, okay. I want to show off something, and you guys can't see this, but I've got a new mascot for the desk. It's not Carlos the koala. He's still obviously around. He's my channel producer, but I've got a little bobblehead Captain America, and I just wanted to show that off to the camera.
Classic. The second
Of course
best
you
Marvel
do.
character. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, what was that?
The
Oh,
second
no.
best Marvel character.
Oh,
Who's the
second
best?
best. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
but
love
it's-
to know.
Spider-Man. But of course, you have no taste, so you don't like the Raimi films. So that's fine. But
Ooh. Here we go. Fight. I have no stake in this.
I'm
films-
not gonna respond to that.
film school graduate, but doesn't like the Raimi films. To be honest, when I heard that, I was
Yeah,
kind
it's
of disappointed.
it's almost like I've got taste. And I
No.
don't like movies starring a serial killer.
No one,
That's
no when
almost
it
what
comes
it's
to
like.
the Raimi films, it'll
Oh,
always be
God.
upsetting.
Yeah, no. I don't mind Spider-Man 2. I don't mind it.
Imagine just
But
not
I,
minding
I,
it.
it's not even the Raimi films. I hate Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker.
But he's
That's
so
the
cool.
key. That's
Well,
the
he's not,
key
but you know
to.
what I mean.
That's the key to my not dislike of the Raimi films. It's not the fact that the films are bad. It's the fact that the guy who plays Spider-Man sucks and is weird and creepy.
He is a little bit like I think he probably would have fit better in like Psycho as opposed to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But
He could easily play, the main bad guy in Psycho.
Did you forget his name?
Yeah, what is his name? Fucking.
oh,
Something
Norman
Bates.
Bates.
not Patrick
Norman
Bateman.
That's the
Bates.
one, yeah.
Yeah, I just forgot
Yeah.
his first name. Boys, what's next for the channels, the podcast? What's the goals? What's the dreams? What's happening next?
Ooh.
Joe, do you want to, or should I take that one?
You got it. You got it.
Right, I reckon, like, we want to get more guests than that, like maybe some people from the community, and then hopefully towards the end of the year we could get some like bigger ones, like maybe involved with AC. That's really like ambitious, but I was thinking like we'd have a go at getting someone like how you got Victoria Atkin. We'd have a go at something like that. But yeah, I think we just want to get guests, and like that's sort of it really for now, at least.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, we getting Victoria on was a big milestone for us.
I don't know. How. Looking back, I don't know how we did that.
Yeah, I don't know how we did that. We were both just we weren't really all that prepared. Like we were, but like compared to like today's standards, just not at all. We fucked up the timing of I fucked up the timing of the podcast. So that Tyler had to get up at like 4 a.m. or whatever it was.
That was a disaster. I forgot about that.
But I think it was good though. I think it was a successful podcast though. We had a bit of a laugh with Victoria Atkin.
Yeah,
As you do.
That was quite nice.
I mean,
she
all you
thought
do.
we were gay, but that's cool.
We made so many,
occasion.
so many jokes.
Yeah.
We are a couple buddy boys, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong
Yeah.
with being. I'm definitely 18% gay at least, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's all on the side, you know.
Yeah. I just stick my finger in James's butt sometimes. It's not that gay. It's just 18% gay.
Yeah.
Speaking
I have
of you
consent
guys,
when I do it. I
Yeah.
tell him. I'm like,
course.
hey, James, I'm going to stick my finger in your butt.
And I was like, yeah, go for it, mate.
Yeah, if that's okay with you, I would just like to.
that's what the barbecue was last year. It was just all the 4 pillars just sticking their fingers.
It was
into
the
arse.
hater orgy in the UK. It's what it was.
Yeah, that's
Oh, of
true.
course.
Just a bunch of haters. Just a bunch of haters.
We just got around. We hate in person.
What? Josh, can you bleep out that name, please?
Oh no, he's gone now though. He doesn't exist anymore.
Nah.
Oh no one likes him. It's all right.
yeah,
Don't worry
it's
about
true.
it. God, don't worry,
It's
Josh.
true.
Don't worry. Keep it.
It's true.
I'll slip you a few under the table.
No, you won't.
Nah, he's
No,
alright.
you
I won't.
You're a cheap bastard. You won't do it. I know you.
No, I
you won't
won't.
fucking do it. What
But
the
yeah.
fuck were we even talking about?
So we
Talking about where
kind
we're
of
going
just
with
decided the podcast was going to be like a regular thing, just because like
Yeah.
the response to the last one was great. So it's going to
What's your
become
schedule?
a real thing now every Wednesday. So just getting
Oh,
yeah,
we have a
check
schedule.
it out. Well,
I thought you just recorded
we
when,
clearly
like,
don't
you
have
wanted to.
communication, but we do have a schedule, kind of.
Yeah, that's on you. Like.
Hey, I know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask James to answer this question because
Yeah.
we both know the answer. James, which
Yeah.
one of these two is the Tyler and which one is the James?
It's so clear. I'm definitely Walshie in this situation. I have no clue what's going on, and I'm making AC videos. That's
Yeah. Yeah,
Fuck's sake.
that was the most
Yeah.
like, I'm like, oh my god, Joe, you're fucking me. You're so me. This dynamic knows what's happening, has the plan, and
Yeah.
while she's along for the ride.
Basically.
it's really
Yeah.
useful though, because I don't ever have to really think about the podcasts.
It's true.
I just
You
show
now
up.
you get to show up and just enjoy yourself.
Yeah. Incredible. I get to just sit down, talk shit, and then never think about it again. Except
Yeah.
when I have to make the thumbnail and upload it and, all that stuff.
Yeah, but I've literally dumbed it down to unbelievable scales of thumbnails. You don't have to think about it. I've told you what to put in every aspect of the thumbnail.
But the
I'll
thumbnail's my
redo it.
favourite bit. I love making the thumbnail, so that's
Oh, do you?
fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I even
looks
make the
cool.
titles for you. I write down like, this is where you put this picture, and that's where you put that picture.
Yeah, you have done that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've tried my best to make it as literally as easy as possible for James, so he doesn't complain about doing it. Because I would really like to still be doing these podcasts in 5 years' time, and James to be alive.
That's an
So,
awful prospect. I'd
yeah.
much rather be dead and not doing them.
Yeah,
But-
I know you would.
Yeah, no.
But I
whatever
won't
works
allow
for
it.
you.
I've forced this friendship and business for 6 years, and I will continue to do so. It's too late.
Grind through it. Grind through the
That's
depression.
reality.
That's what you got to do.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Let's do how it be.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I just had a stroke. Okay. We're alright. Back on track.
Yeah, back on track. All right. So at the moment, obviously, you're saying that you've got the podcast
Yeah.
every Wednesday or whenever the fuck, because you haven't figured that out. What sort of other projects are you guys working on, either individually, I guess, or any other collaborations? Is it just the Eagle School podcast? The other stuff you've got in the pipeline? What's next? We'll start with Walshie. I'll actually divvy it up to each of you so you don't freak out about which one of you.
Yeah. That's what we do.
I was planning on doing I've been trying to review all the AC games before Valhalla, but I don't think I'll be able to do that. So I want to do a 10-year thing for Brotherhood. I want to do like a Unity funtage, because of course they never get old, and my channel is very up to date. So I was meant to do one with Mario and someone else, but can't do that anymore. So me and George are gonna do one, and then I think that's like all I have planned really.
Fair, and then just cover the tremendous amount of Valhalla news that drops every other day.
I am gonna get to a point where like I am doing the videos you were talking about Ethan doing before. Like it is gonna get that bad. I promise you now.
At least you have news though to talk about. Back when Ethan was making those videos,
Yeah.
the game wasn't even announced. It was a leak, and we'd been doing it for 8 months.
It was so long. It was so
still-
long. It was like 12
we were all still
months,
talking
man.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mystical elements in Assassin's Creed Empire. Just
It was
great
the best
content.
year.
It was.
2016 was fucking weird, and then the Ezio collection came out.
That was, but that was
Yeah.
fun. I enjoyed the fact that it was
Yeah,
like,
it was
let's play as Ezio again, and
we can talk about it.
Ezio.
And, yeah.
Can't forget
And then
about the
we're all
movie
playing
too.
the Ezio trilogy. Oh god, don't fucking bring that up, man.
Actually,
Why
yeah,
are you doing this to me?
maybe do forget the movie. I take that back. Probably.
Was that
the best
2016?
plan of
What?
action.
Yeah, it was the end of
Yeah.
2016. The first
Oh, it was the
ever
start
Clubhouse
of
was
2017.
a
here.
spoiler
Okay.
cast. Yeah, that's what we say. The first ever Clubhouse just sounded like a Kill Connor
yeah.
club, but it actually was a cinema room. So
Of the AC movie. Wow, Clubhouse
Yeah.
has come a long way.
yeah, and now it's the best podcast on the internet objectively. So
Yeah. But you can only get it over at patreon.com/ as always for just $1 or more. Your choice. Your call.
absolutely.
Imagine not
Absolutely.
being pledged.
What a
I can't even
ridiculous
imagine it.
idea.
I can't imagine it truly. Yeah, it's
Yeah, that is crazy.
But it's also crazy having you two on, because I've like read both of your names for years on Patreon, and then seeing you on Discord, and then seeing you start making content, and now you're here. It's
yeah.
it's brilliant. It's brilliant to see that we're the old men now, and there's young lions that have come to kill us and take everything we own.
Lioness.
So,
Young lionesses.
Some might-
lionesses. Yeah, we're being charmed. Yeah. So young lionesses.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Mhm.
James, what's your next project? What are you working on, or are you just taking it easy at the moment?
Me?
Yes.
You asking me? Oh,
Yeah, that's
I'm
why I
not
said
fucking
James.
on it. Sorry, I was zoned out for a minute there. What am I working on?
Yeah.
Nothing really. I've got a video coming out next week. Yeah, I'm waiting for a Skillshare to get back to me. On
Yes. On the sponsorship.
on the sponsorship, yeah, to let me know that it's all good and I can put the video up. So I gotta wait for that. But then my Ghost Tsushima video on the art of exploration and discovery will be up, which I think was a pretty good video. But once I finish it, I'm also then gonna work on like a full video talking about a lot of the other stuff like combat, stealth, the fact people keep likening it to Assassin's Creed and the story and everything, and just make sort of one big sort of video on that, because I think that'd be cool and people would probably like it. And then other than that, the only other things I've got definitely planned are obviously something to do with Valhalla when it drops, and then Brotherhood 10 years later, and Hearts of Stone 10 years later as well. Other than that, I don't have a great deal of plans, but
Fair.
that's the shit that's coming.
Well, speaking of Ghost of Tsushima, no spoilers, obviously. I haven't finished the game. I'm in Act 2 right now. James, you're in Act 3. Walshie, we were talking about this before. Walshie, you haven't played it yet. Joe, have you played it?
I don't own a PS4.
Disgusting.
And now I'm
What?
going to be shamed.
Wrong side of history.
Wait,
That's
what?
terrible.
Are you being serious?
I am being serious, yeah.
What do you have?
Xbox. Oh, I'm gonna get bullied for this more now. Fuck's sake.
That's really, that's a shame. Honestly, I
Well,
just feel
my-
upset for you.
My line of
Wait, so-
thinking is that
Here we go.
when the PS5 comes out, if I wait, play all of them backwards compatible, I'll have streaming content and video content for like ages. Just going back and looking back at games like that I play for the first time 5 years after they come out.
Yeah,
So-
right. But what you're saying is you've never
Fuck's
played God of War,
Yep.
Horizon Zero Dawn, Uncharted,
Thanks for reminding me. Yep.
Spider-Man, Ghost of
Last of Us?
Tsushima,
Oh my
The
God.
Last of Us.
Played The Last of Us 1 on PS3.
Right.
Oh,
And then you
Kinda
thought,
there.
let's get a not get a PS4, let's get an Xbox.
Yeah,
That is pretty
it was
wild.
the worst decision of my entire life, and it's led to
I-
most
I
of
would
this
argue
generation.
That is.
Yeah, most of this generation has depressingly been Assassin's Creed for me. So, yeah, now I'm gonna get hopefully this podcast gets. I'm just gonna get bombarded with dislikes now. So that's all good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if everyone could head to
Understandably.
Joe's channel and
Understandably.
dislike his most
Yeah.
recent
That's,
video.
it's all good. It's all good. I understand.
Yeah.
He deserves that. What the fuck, man? Get your life together. Fucking
I
love
really
together.
need to. Yeah.
Well, anyway, James has played it because he has a
played it.
fucking PS4 like a normal human being.
Yeah, got a PS4 in
Um,
2015, boys.
Yeah.
A little bit late, but there you go.
Yeah, I got mine in 2016, so even later. But I got it still.
Yeah.
It's fun to have an Xbox, but also have a PS4. You know what I mean? Just also have a PS4.
But anyone that's getting a fucking
Actually-
Series X and not getting a PS5 that's mental.
Yeah.
Those people
just
can't
make
exist,
sense.
surely.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Actually, Rise Son of Rome is the best game of the generation.
Rise, Son of Rome.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
State of Decay 3 as well, so you
Yeah,
kind of
it's-
have to.
I'm-
when
yeah,
you've got that.
yeah.
Halo Infinite, that looks great. You know, there'll be some modern classics. You'll miss out otherwise.
Yeah, Sunset Overdrive, don't forget that one.
That's actually
Oh,
a
that's
really
basically
sick game,
Spider-Man.
though, to be fair.
Yeah, it's alright. Nothing really happens though.
Yeah.
I like
Well, James, tell me about Ghost of Tsushima. What, like, you're obviously making this video on it with exploration. Talk to me about it. What
Yeah.
are your feelings on it, and where does it stand for you in games this year and games of this generation and Sony exclusives?
Alright. Yeah, Ghost, I think... I mean, it's a game I already expected to be good. Like, I said this on Twitter, that it was my, like, wild take was that Ghost of Tsushima was going to come out of nowhere and be, like, Game of the Year and whatever. Which it's for me, it's not. I don't think it's Game of the Year. I mean, it could, like, the ending could be in such a way where I'm like, oh wow, this whole experience was so great, like it rounded it off so well, and maybe it does do that. But for now, Final Fantasy VII Remake and The Last of Us Part 2 are above it.
Yeah.
But overall, I think it's a really brilliant game, and I really like the way it blends a lot of things we've seen in other games, but it does them all so well and perfects, I think, a formula that has become pretty stale in recent years that Ubisoft have used a lot with, like, Assassin's Creed and Far Cry and Watch Dogs and whatever. And you've had games that have, like, tried to take that formula and do something interesting, like Shadow of Mordor, and then Shadow of War was a bit not great. But I think this game takes a lot of aspects from a bunch of different games. It does its own things as well. But it just blends everything together and perfects everything to just be this really well-rounded experience that I think is really, really good. Exploring the world is fantastic. The story is something that I'm pretty invested in. I think that's great. The structure of side quests is cool. The combat is super satisfying. I love the stealth with all the different tools you can use and everything. It's very old school Assassin's Creed, almost like a sort of like a Unity, I guess, in that sense, but better because the stealth system's not fucking broken. And yeah, overall, it's great. I think it's a really, really great game. It's probably like my third top game of the year. But then, I mean, what's below it? Like,
yeah, I was about to say
Modern Warfare Remastered, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
But no, I think it's a fantastic game.
Yeah, I think I wasn't all that hyped for it beforehand. I was like, I'm sure it'll be good. It was just sort of like, it looks like what we've seen before. So, I'm not that hyped for Cyberpunk at all. I'm actually zero hyped for Cyberpunk. I was like,
Zero
oh yeah,
hype.
I'll play Ghost of Tsushima. And I'm like, I'm sure Cyberpunk is going to be really good. I just don't have like this excitement level for it. It's not particularly the setting of game that draws me in, but I'm sure I'll play it. I'll be like, oh wow, that was a well made and crafted game. And that's kind of what I felt like going into Ghost of Tsushima. And I probably went a week or two, or not two for sure, but maybe like a week where I hadn't played it when it came out, and everyone's just on Twitter going on and on about photo mode. And oh, it's the best game ever. Wow, what an amazing experience. I'm like, oh wow, alright. This must be really good. And then I played like 10 minutes, and recorded a podcast with you, James, talking about how much I hated the walking animation. I'm like, I can't do it. I'm not doing it, James. I'm not playing this game if it doesn't have terrain walking animations. I'm not fucking doing it. But I've played quite a few hours now. I'm in the second act, and it's a fantastic game. It's not even close to The Last of Us Part 2 for me for Game of the Year. But it's really fun. I love the setting. It's obviously a gorgeous looking game. The story's good. Like, the story's what's holding it back in the sense of when I compare it to what's Game of the Year, right? Or even what's the best Sony exclusive this generation. You've got so many others, and what Tsushima, what holds it back is, yes, the story's good. Yes, the characters are good. Nothing's like, I've got no complaints necessarily about it, but there's nothing that exciting that's standing out to me, that's drawing me in, that's making me feel like it's a really emotional experience, I guess. It hasn't emotionally invested me into it. I'm finding myself, like you said, the side activities feel like the games I played before, but it's just doing it in a really well-polished way in its own sort of take in doing it, which I think is in a lot of ways the best way it's ever been done, but it does use stale ideas and concepts. So it's doing it better. Yes, it's doing it differently in its own way, but it's still stuff I'm overplaying, if that makes sense.
Sure.
But it's keeping me going. The combat's really fun. The stealth's really fun. It's really satisfying to explore and fight enemies and like go into a camp and complete all those objectives. And then of course, the story itself and the characters, it's good. Like, it's really, really good. It's a really, really good game. But it's not amazing 10 out of 10. I wouldn't even say 9 out of 10. Like an 8.5 for me right now. That's probably what I'd say. Like, for Ghost of Tsushima. Again, I'm only halfway. And the story is getting better the further I'm going into it. Like, Act 1 felt like this. It's the storyline of Act 1 is the identical storyline to Act 1 of Red Dead Redemption 1. It's literally the exact same storyline and setup and payoff.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is similar in a. Yeah, I get. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And that's all I was thinking about. I'm like, oh, I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 1 in Japan in terms of story, and the mechanics are Assassin's Creed. Like, that's how it feels. That's just how it feels to me. But obviously, the Japanese setting is beautiful and very different, something we haven't really seen a lot of. So that's what's definitely standing out for sure as well. And there's so many little intricate details of side content that contribute to the character. There's so many layers and levels to building your character from what it is at the start in terms of gameplay, like how basic the combat is, how basic your skills and abilities are, and how so many little things in the side content and the experiences you have grow, and enhance the combat, enhance the gameplay experience, enhance your character from just slicing bamboo trees and branches to meditating and making haikus and things like that. Like all those little side things you explore in the world that add to it. It's great. And yeah, like I said, it's a really, really good game. Great game, in fact. But it's not The Last of Us Part 2. Or in your eyes, Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I haven't played yet, which I've downloaded and got ready. As soon as I finish Ghost of Tsushima, I'll move on to Final Fantasy VII. So I'm excited for that. You've convinced me and got me hyped to play Final Fantasy VII.
I think that's my game of the year. I think it's
over The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, and I think
I can't argue with you.
Because I think both games made me feel a lot of emotion, and that was cool. And both were really fun and satisfying to play, obviously in different ways. Because they play it entirely differently. But they're both so, like, Final Fantasy is so well balanced, and the combat is just so satisfying and fun. The story's great, the characters are great. It's just such a brilliant experience. But what did it for me is that when I look back, I'm like, which of the two would I actually be dying to replay? And I'm like, I could replay Final Fantasy VII a million times, but I don't really want to play The Last of Us Part 2 again.
True, because it's so emotionally draining.
Yeah, exactly. And to me, that was just like, if I had to pick between the two, it's like, well, I want to play Final Fantasy VII Remake again. Like, I want to play it again on like a harder difficulty or something. I want to go through it again. And so, to me, that was like, well, that's got to be my game of the year. But they're very close, and they're both so very different. So it's tough to say, but they're both, incredible games. But Final Fantasy VII just did something, it's fucking mad. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, you've certainly convinced me, and I'm very, very excited to play it. Yeah, no, it's exciting. It's exciting. I mean, when thinking about like games of generation, we mentioned before, like there's so much to choose from unless you're Joe, and then it's Sunset Overdrive. But I guess looking at Sony exclusives this generation, Sony's dominated this generation. There's no question about that. And Ghost of Tsushima is the last big Sony exclusive. This is the one we're waiting for, the last big Sony exclusive of the generation. Now The Last of Us Part 2 is out, Ghost of Tsushima's out, and you look back at what they put out. Detroit Become Human, things you didn't expect to be as good as they were. Detroit Become Human, a Horizon Zero Dawn, a new IP like that just blew everyone's socks off. Then your go-to exclusives that have been just completely reborn, like God of War, or that next step with the Uncharted 4s and the Last of Us Part 2s that pushed what they were previously, and it goes to Tsushima as well, Death Stranding. There's so many incredible Sony exclusives. For you guys, other than you, Joe,
just me.
Yeah.
What's your... Everyone that knows me knows my answer to this question, but
Oh,
game of the generation for Sony, the best Sony exclusive of this generation, Walshie, what's yours? Where are you at with that?
I haven't finished The Last of Us 2, but with that to like one, because I played like halfway through, and it is like amazing, like probably easily in like my top 20. But I think in terms of something I have finished and I've played a bunch of times and I know really well, I'd say Uncharted 4, like easily, because that's what a sequel should be in terms of like how it's what Uncharted should be, but it progresses everything so well and adds a bunch of new mechanics, and it's a great sequel, and it's probably like one of the best games I've played, not just this generation but like ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree. That's up there.
Yeah.
James, what about you?
I think there's a lot of games that went a bit more under the radar. I think they still did really well, but there's a lot of games that did that a lot of people don't think about, because obviously you think about like your God of War and your Uncharted and whatever. And I think there's been some great ones, like you said. Detroit Become Human is one of those sort of more understated ones. You've got like Until Dawn was a game that I played a couple years ago, and that was really, really cool. The Shadow of the Colossus remaster was really great.
Yeah, true.
And then also like something like Days Gone, I think was a great start to something which could be a really, really cool franchise. So they've had a lot of those ones as well, where they're they're still great games, but they're not mentioned on the scale of like a God of War. But I mean, there's so many big ones that would be my favorite PS4 exclusive, and I think it's between, for me, Horizon Zero Dawn and God of War, and that's purely because I think Horizon Zero Dawn came absolutely out of nowhere, and I just felt so attached to Aloy and the world that she was in and everything, and I just think it was so special. But I think God of War, just in terms of the quality of game, has got to take that top spot. Just because it's just so, just incredible. And as well, like, when I was playing it for the first time, I didn't know exactly what I was getting into. Like, I knew from trailers and demos that this game was going to be good, but it just, like, blew my expectations out of the water and was just insanely good in terms of quality. So, I mean, God of War just is that, the magnum opus of this generation of PlayStation games for me, personally.
Yeah. No, 100%. 100% agreed. I'm looking at my, like, list on my phone of just favorite games of all time, and in the top 15 of my favorite games ever, there's 1, 2, 3... 4 Sony exclusives from this generation. Like,
that's wild.
It's fucking wild. It's fucking wild. And that includes The Last of Us Part 2. It includes Uncharted 4. It includes Horizon Zero Dawn. Those are 3 of my favorite games ever. And the more I think about The Last of Us Part 2, because that's the most recent one, the more I like it, the more impact it has, and the more I think about it, and it just... as someone that hates zombie games and wasn't even that big of a fan of the first Last of Us, the fact that The Last of Us Part 2 had such a big impact on me and really affected me that much, that game just really stands out as could be one of the best games I've ever played when I really think about it and look back on it. Uncharted 4, I played all 4 mainline Uncharted games back to back in 2016, and it's one of the best game experiences I've had. It's the type of franchise I love. The design is so flawless, the characters are amazing, and Uncharted 4 was the perfect cap off to that. So Uncharted 4 stands out like unfucking believable game. And then Horizon Zero Dawn, which without that game I wouldn't be all set, and now I'm all set. I said before you're all set. So with that alone, you'd think Horizon Zero Dawn, that's game of the generation for me, let alone Sony exclusive. And Horizon Zero Dawn's up there. It's one of my all-time favorite games, in my top 10. And I'm beyond excited for the sequel, and I hope to become, instead of an Assassin's Creed YouTuber, a Horizon YouTuber. And that's that would be way better. I'd enjoy that far more.
Hey man, Horizon follower here. Welcome back.
Horizon?
About the potential robots we might see in Forbidden West. First up, a fucking raptor, mate. We might see one of those.
Why am I from New Zealand?
I don't know what that was.
Why am I a Kiwi?
That went absolutely off the rails.
That went off the rails. But ultimately, my one of my favorite games of all time, top 3 favorite games of all time, is God of War. And I've still never played another God of War game bar God of War PS4. And I almost didn't get it. Like, I remember it came out, like, 2 days later, James, like, Tyler, you have to play this. So I'm like, all right, fine. I went out, bought it, and unfucking believable. Unbelievable. And I just couldn't believe how amazing this game was. As a player, and I was halfway through it, I'm like, this is the best thing I've ever played. This is the best thing I've ever played. From start to finish, the best thing I've ever played. And it probably is the best game I've ever played, in terms of just like, if I try to look at it objectively, but it's not my number 1 game of all time. That's Kingdom Hearts, but that's a nostalgia. That's a nostalgia thing, What could I replay a million times? What game have I played the most from start to finish? That's Kingdom Hearts 1. But yeah, God of War, Sony exclusive game of the generation for me, and best Sony exclusive as well. It's an unbelievable game.
Makes sense.
So Joe, what's your favorite Sony exclusive?
I've got to say The Last of Us Part 1. I am glad, though, that no one even mentioned Spider-Man PS4, because I got to say, that's one that I played a little bit of, and it's easily one of the most overrated games of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah, so it is.
Like, people saying that, like, it buries the Arkham games, or it's better than, like, Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, are just way off. And people saying, like, that it's at the top of the generation. Like, obviously I've not played God of War and all that, but I think God of War buries Spider-Man PS4. I think it was great as a Spider-Man game.
Absolutely.
But like,
Yeah.
I think because so many people bought it, and because it's a superhero property, it gets somewhat more credit than it's due. I love the story, and the gameplay is great, but I don't think it's nearly as great as most major PS4 exclusives. So I'm just throwing that out there. But Last of Us Part 1 on PS3 is my favorite PS4 exclusive, I gotta say.
Well, there is a Last of Us remaster. That's
Yeah,
where I
true,
played
there
Last of
is,
Us
yeah.
for the first time.
Yeah, that's where normal people
so.
played it, but I'm the FoundedScarab, but I do things differently. I do things wrong.
You do. Yeah, you do. You do. You do. Like, listen to Eddie. You do.
Oh
that
yeah, of course.
sometimes.
And that's
Jesus.
been a disaster.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to cover this topic today. What's the best PS4 exclusive of the generation? Because Eddie's been doing the Twitter polls for it, and he's going to talk about it
Gotta
on his
get there
podcast.
first.
But I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make it the topic for our podcast, and we're going to
Could I
make
just
our podcast
say-
out first,
Don't know
and
if he's
then
the thief.
ruin his show.
Yeah.
Those Twitter polls were so unfair. The way that he fucking structured them.
How
It's like
so?
the first,
Oh,
the
the
game
bracket,
that fucking
yeah.
God of War and like The Last of Us Part 2 went up against each other straight away, and it just seems like stupid. Like, surely
What
you
do you
should
mean?
balance
Yeah, it was very
balance it better. I know we used like a random generator to.
But at the end of
to
the day, the
balance
winner's still going to
brackets.
be the winner. It doesn't matter who's second or third or
Suppose.
fourth. Like, that's not really... It's not how it works with those sorts of tournament things. It just... You could be second best of that list and get knocked out in the first round. That's not how it works. It's not. There's no second, third, or fourth place in those sorts of tournament scales. There's only a winner, and the winner was God of War. You know what I mean? Like, God of War won because it was the most popular of all of those games.
Yeah, I suppose that makes sense because
If you
I guess
look
that
at it
makes
as like
sense.
Uncharted 4
yeah.
was second or this was third, then it does make sense. But if you can't look at it that way with the tournament.
The
scale,
best is the best, yeah, because it has to be. Otherwise, it wouldn't have beaten out whatever came to the second place point.
Yeah, exactly.
Which
But-
beat
but-
everything else. And,
Exactly.
Yeah,
But-
so.
But God of War could have gone up against the second best and most popular game first up. So the second best game was out in the first round, so it doesn't look like it's that good, but that's not how it should be looked at in a tournament structure.
Yeah.
But ultimately, what got voted? The winner was the best game
right
of the
one.
generation.
Yeah, makes sense.
God of War. God of War.
God
yeah.
of War.
Yeah, God of War. What a brilliant game.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of Spider-Man, I do want to go back to the Spider-Man topic.
Yeah.
I do agree it probably is a bit overrated, but
Especially by Evan Falaka.
I still think it's.
I just saw this new animation for the enemy. I'm gonna replay the whole fucking game. Spider-Man saved my life.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! Just us and dramatic.
We had him on Cinema Room.
We did, didn't we? I totally
we did.
forgot we did that.
We did.
And then I'm like, well, I didn't know who he was. You were like, oh, I've got this guy that I know.
Well, he was a big Spider-Man guy, and he came on the
Yeah.
podcast. Made sense.
And
It's good stuff.
Yeah, true. Yeah, fair enough. And it was fine. It was a good podcast. It was a really fun
Yeah,
podcast. It was
good
Brett
guest.
as well.
Knew what he was talking about.
Yeah, definitely. But then
Yeah.
I was like, he's a bit of a weird guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Shout out, Evan Falaka. Whatever.
Yeah.
But like, it's still a really good game, and I've never played Arkham Asylum, but I played Arkham City and Arkham Knight, and I would rather play Spider-Man PS4.
Oh,
And
Ooh.
I love Batman. I love Batman
Bad
more than
take.
Spider-Man. Yeah, that's how
I feel like
Blasphemy,
Arkham
but-
City is my favorite superhero game, personally.
yeah.
I think in my review of Spider-Man, I said that it was better than all the Arkham games, but I would say it just goes under. I might go under. Probably Asylum and City are probably above, but I'll probably put Spider-Man above Origins and Night.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But it's probably pretty close, especially because I love Spider-Man more than I love Batman. So it's close for me. But I think, as games, probably, City is fucking incredible.
Yeah.
That's fair enough then.
Yeah, but I think just naturally in terms of gameplay, Spider-Man's a more fun game to play because swinging around a fucking city's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I think
true,
just
it's good
in
fun.
that sense alone, it has so many game points. Whereas
Yeah.
like a movie, I'd much rather watch a Batman movie.
That makes sense. I think Spider-Man does translate better somewhat to games, but like, just if you look at the whole game, I think compared to Arkham City, it's not nowhere close, but it's below, definitely.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah.
that's just me.
Yeah, but I mean, there's solid games, and I'm looking forward to this Miles Morales game on PS5, and
Yeah, for sure.
you know, they're fun, well-made, short titles because they're not. I like that. I really like that about Spider-Man PS4. It wasn't some 50-hour game. It's like just make a 15-hour to platinum game.
Exactly.
And it's solid as fuck. It doesn't need. We don't need games that are obscenely long all the time. Like a Witcher 3 should be once in a generation. And then, you know what I mean? Like those big Unreal games. Same with Red Dead Redemption 2. Only a couple of them a generation.
Yeah.
Should be every AAA game has to be 100 hours. Like, holy fuck.
And another thing is, it shouldn't be fucking co-op, whatever the Avengers game is, with 1,000 different paid skins.
What a disaster.
I mean,
Avengers
earlier today,
my God,
they released like some exclusive skins purely for like Verizon customers or something like that. And they just look like shitty knockoff like Santa Claus outfits. It's rough.
Oh dear, what a fucking nightmare that game looks like. I can't understand how anybody's looking at it and be like, no, that shit was pretty good, looks pretty cool, I'm really excited.
Yeah,
It just looks like a disaster. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
Square will give it to me though.
Retweeted it out, Joe.
yeah, I did, yeah, because it just looks, it's horrific.
Oh, let me go and look at this.
Like, it's purely clearly made to just capitalize off the MCU's success. But
Oh my God.
People are trying so hard to like defend it and be optimistic, despite every sign showing that it's going to be a disaster. Like, it's clearly just made to capitalize, and that's fine. But also, it still doesn't look good. So, you know.
And I love Marvel and I love the Avengers so much. I want it to be good. So much.
Exactly. But it's I think I'm gonna give it a miss.
I hate Cap's outfit so much.
Oh, it looks so bad. Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah,
That's why it sucks though.
Isn't he?
Like, yeah, it's just fucking weird. And like the reason it sucks and the reason they look so shit is because they're like knockoff MCU versions.
Exactly.
I feel like they're trying to make them look not like MCU. Like they're like, we want you to know that they're MCU characters, but also we're trying to. They're not them. They're their own. They're our version. And
I feel like
there's like they're doing both.
I mentioned it in my recent video. Like, I feel like they're trying to get it to look just enough like the MCU so they get sales, but not quite enough that Robert Downey Jr. sues them. It's like they're trying to find a middle ground where they can just make as much money as possible.
Yeah,
And then
where
they have
Spider-Man
an amazing
PS4 I
voice
feel
cast.
goes. Yeah, Spider-Man PS4 I think goes for its own identity, where like they make their own Peter Parker and their own characters that resemble the comic books, but like it's their own thing. They're not trying to base. They didn't try to remake Tom Holland or Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield. Whereas these feel it when I'm looking at them, like it looks like they tried to translate the MCU into a game, but not quite. And it just the whole like the gameplay looks like shit. What a fucking mess. Yeah.
Just make a Captain America game.
They did.
Just do that.
Oh, the Captain America MCU tie-in game is an underrated gem. It's it's actually quality.
I've watched gameplay of it and I'm like, I could see how it's all right. You know what I mean? Like,
it's
for a
shit,
game
but
that you
good.
know is shit, but
Yeah.
for a shit game, it's actually all right.
Exactly.
Remember when they made like a game for Avatar, the movie?
Yeah,
like,
that was decent. It was Ubisoft, wasn't it?
Was it Ubisoft? Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Movie tying games. The only
They're
good
making
movie tying
another
game
one, aren't they?
ever
Yeah, I think
is
so.
Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. That fucking
Lord of the
game
Rings,
on PS2
Battle
is
for
Harry
so
Potter
good.
and the Order of the Phoenix.
No,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, James, is like
You mean one that's purely based
for
on a
the
film?
movie. It's like it was based on the. You're playing the movie.
Okay.
And
Oh,
it's
the Harry
so
Potter games
good.
though.
No, yeah, Harry Potter.
Harry Potter and the Chamber
Phoenix.
of Secrets, Order of the Phoenix.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Oh.
Chamber of Secrets game is so good.
Chamber of Secrets.
But that's also the Philosopher's Stone and Chamber of Secrets are the only two Harry Potter movies I like, and all the other movies are trash.
You don't like Prisoner of Azkaban?
I don't hate Prisoner of Azkaban, but I just feel like it's overrated. Everyone's like, "It's the best movie." I'm like, "Is it though? Is it? It's definitely not."
What do I
Chamber
think
of
is the
Secrets
best
is so
Harry
good.
Potter movie? Okay, that's a question, boys. What's your favorite Harry Potter movie?
It's
Not book,
definitely-
movie though.
I like
Prisoner
two
of
of them.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
either,
think
either that
Chamber
or
of
Order
Secrets is my
Phoenix.
favorite. Chamber of Secrets is my favorite.
Chamber of Secrets is. That always felt like it dragged for me as a kid. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I really like Prisoner of Azkaban, and I really
It's like a
Goblet
murder.
of Fire
I just
as
love
well.
it. It's like a murder mystery, and then
Yeah,
I
true.
do
I
love
do,
it's
I do
Voldemort.
like that about it.
I do love the atmosphere of the first two films, like how it was so bright and
it was the
warm.
best atmosphere. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that about
Yeah.
the first two movies. And then Dumbledore died, and they got the new guy, and then the vibe just got real weird. And then and then Hogwarts was all changed around. I'm like, you know what? Just go fuck yourself, movies.
Yeah, and
Just
then
all you go
Goblet of
fuck
Fire
yourself.
happened, and that was a disaster.
Yeah,
So-
and so
Yeah,
why is
then that
Hagrid's
film's
house
awful.
different in so many of these movies? Like, just be the same.
Yeah, they just kept changing the art style and design of stuff, but it's
Yeah.
meant to be like it was always like that. And I
So
don't
when
think
they
I
gave
noticed
them-
that until I was an adult. Like as a kid, I was just
Really?
like, oh, it's just how it is. They just changed it, like you know.
Yeah, it was so weird when they gave
It's
them all
magic.
mullets. Like
Yeah.
everyone had a mullet. It was
Oh, that was funny.
bizarre.
I really do like those films though, despite the they've got some issues here and there. But I
And
do
then they
quite like
ruined
all.
them with the what's it called? The new ones. Fucking
The Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
That just brings pain.
Ooh.
Pain.
I couldn't watch
that's-
5
oh
minutes
my
of
God.
that. I
The
could not watch
first
5
one-
minutes of it.
The first one I thought was alright. Like I was into it. I was like, this is alright.
It
This
was
is kind of a bit of fun.
kind of okay. But then Johnny Depp
Second
and
one,
Grindelwald
though.
just had gay sex with Dumbledore, and it was just
That's pretty hot though, to be honest.
Not that there's anything wrong with gay sex. That was the best part of the movie, but
No, only I love that you're like trying to back and you're like, oh, gay sex is bad. Oh wait, no, I mean I like gay sex. In fact, I loved it. It was the best.
I love
part of the
having
movie.
it. If anyone wants to with me, that'd DM me.
Yeah.
The second Fantastic Beast though, my fucking god, that was a train wreck. Just an absolute fucking disaster. They made Nagini like a fucking Asian woman that lived in a circus
Yeah.
or something.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, why? What are you doing, J.K. Rowling? Stop this fucking madness. They're like, oh, we need more diversity. Just to pretend pretend Voldemort's snake was an Asian woman. They'll love it. Yeah, fucking good job.
Yeah, it's Cursed Child was probably worse than those though. Like they did like a
Oh, the
book
play
of
was-
like the that is
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah, I've seen like a summary of it where someone like broke it down, analyzed it, and everything, and it was just terrible, fucking terrible.
I'm not a big fan of Harry Potter in general. I like the books and stuff, but the movies, nah. But Chamber of Secrets game, love it. Absolutely, what a
Yeah, it
great
is.
game! It was like
Oh, it's
the
so
first one of the first like open
definitely
world
up there.
games. Like just had a full open world Hogwarts, playing Quidditch and shit.
When you get the broom
like-
and you can fly around Hogwarts, like
Oh.
the grounds of Hogwarts, is so fun.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's up there. That's
It was
probably my second favorite like movie tie-in game. But I'd still Lord of the Rings: Return of the King is
That's fair.
so good. So
Spider-Man
good.
2.
Spider-Man
2 's good.
Spider-Man 2 is legit.
Spider-Man
Oh,
2 's
that's
up there.
legit. Spider-Man 2 is definitely legit. That's I
Mm.
might actually put that above Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets. To be
X-Men
fair.
Origins
the movie
Wolverine
game.
was better than the
Ooh,
movie.
that's a good one.
That's
Is
a
that
great
actually?
one.
Is that
Yeah,
actually?
It's way better
it's
than the movie.
Actually good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
it is good. Yeah,
You can
yeah,
you,
it's
you
really
never
just
good.
rip
seen-
people to shreds. It's
Oh, it's so much fun, and the physics of like when you get like there's parts of the game like because there's actual like the physics of like Wolverine getting damaged. So like if you find like a turret or something and you put on like the cheat or whatever it was to have invincibility, it will still do the effects of him like getting hurt. So if you stand in front of this turret that's just gunning you down, all of your skin gets fucking ripped off, and then like when you
So
move
sick.
out of it, you'll just heal it all back. It's fucking cool.
I mean,
great.
to be in fairness, it doesn't look good when I'm
it
watching
really
it.
is good. It really is fun.
if you're ever angry, it's always a good one to go back to. Just take out some pain.
Oh, I'm watching his skin's all like.
Yeah.
I'm watching a full playthrough, 7-hour playthrough. So I'm gonna spend the rest of the podcast watching the
Perfect.
full 7-hour playthrough.
Oh man, it's a
Oh
great
my God.
game.
What are some other like really bad or good like movie tie-in games? Because that Captain America one is okay for it's bad, but it's pretty good for the bad one.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to think.
Go-
God, what
GoldenEye is up
exists?
there. The original GoldenEye, and then they
Yeah.
remastered it and made it,
True.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, there's that.
Funnily
they
enough-
did Batman Begins. That was one.
Did
I
they?
just made. Yeah, they made a Batman Begins one, and it was a disaster.
Yeah, they were gonna make
As all
Dark
of them
Knight,
are.
and then
They're always a disaster, but like,
yeah, they're never
There's still
like
some
the
charm
peak
there.
of gaming. you know, they have
The
some
peak
bits
of
and
gaming's
pieces in there.
Assassin's Creed Unity. We all
Yeah,
know that.
obviously, of course.
Sure.
But after the
After
patches,
the 1 terabyte patch that cured my mom's cancer.
Yes.
It
yes. It paid off all my student loan. It was great.
This Captain America game actually doesn't look that bad, eh?
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I mean, they completely ripped off a lot of Arkham, but also like that's a good thing. So
No.
it works.
Wow, this actually
It
doesn't
just
look too bad.
works.
I would play this. I would stream this.
You should do it.
Yeah, go for it.
It'd be good. Be good.
How do you
series.
even get it?
What is it? What console?
It wouldn't be a series. It would be one stream.
It's on the 360,
yeah,
is it?
Ah,
Peter Jackson's King Kong was pretty good. That game.
was it?
I think so.
Mm.
I remember it being quite fun.
They made one for M. Night Shyamalan's Avatar: The Last Airbender as well, like the live-action
really?
movie. Yeah,
No,
they
they-
made a tie-in game for it on like the Wii.
Oh
I
god.
gotta find
Funnily
this.
enough, I just made a video on movie tie-in games on YouTube.com/
You did, that's
whatever it
true.
is.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Very
cheeky.
smooth as
That's a
always,
nice,
Joe.
nice
Yeah,
plug.
always smooth.
Mm.
Every time you make a
Well, I mean-
smooth
There was a really good Last Airbender game on like PS2.
I like the TV show. The actual
yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, they made a few, I think, on PS2. You had like Burning Earth and
There was a period
Oh
where
my
it was
God,
just
they actually
every film.
made- Oh my god,
Every-
this looks
Yeah.
so bad.
Yeah.
what is it?
Katara's just using a sword.
Oh, that nice.
Classic. That's what she always.
And Ung is just shit.
Did you call him Ung
Ong.
That's what he's called in the movie.
in the? Well, that is what he's called in the movie. Yeah, you're right.
So I'm making fun of the movie
Yeah.
because
Okay.
it's terrible.
Okay, I got scared. I got worried.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
This is his
They
name,
made-
Ung. I've only
They
ever
got-
seen the live action movie, James.
Why is Angry
Oh.
Birds on this list of movie tie-in games?
Because they made
'Cause they
a.
did a
Surely
film.
that's a
Yeah, they did a film for it.
game
But
tie-in
that's like the
movie.
Yeah, but it's exactly. It's
Other way
the
around,
movie's
yeah.
based on the game.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or maybe they just made the game as a plan like 10 years in advance just to get the budget. For the movie.
Maybe.
So
Fucking Kung Fu Panda.
Also,
was good.
it was just for anyone out there. It was a joke. I have seen the Last Airbender series.
Okay,
for
phew.
the love of God. Yeah,
Fucking hell.
I heard you say that. I'm like, I'm joking.
Yeah,
I've
I was-
seen
I was
The
a bit,
Last Airbender.
Okay.
I haven't seen it in a very long time. When it was airing on Nickelodeon. That's when I watched
Right,
it.
yeah, okay. It's put
Yeah.
on Netflix, so been binging
Yeah.
it. That and
Yeah.
Doctor Who.
Oh, Doctor Who.
Doctor Who made me
Well,
really sick.
that's rude.
Yeah.
No.
I'm got Jesus Christ, because I just rewatched all the Doctor Who for the
Yeah.
from the beginning of the year to like it's probably a couple of months ago. I finally got through.
Could you do a review of the dolls, please?
Oh yeah. Well, look, I need to buy the new figure collection so that
The
I can
new ones
talk
are
to you
awful,
about the
though.
articulation.
That'd be
But-
great if you
Yeah.
could.
Doctor Who starts so good and there's so much of it that's great, and then it just slowly trails off, and it's just
Yeah.
so shit.
It's,
Oh my god.
Mm.
I just finished season
Series
4 and
11
I
and
think
12.
that's it for me. I think I'm just gonna stop now.
Yeah.
Oh, but there's so much
Wait,
more
where
good shit.
are you stopping?
Yeah, but nothing beats David Tennant. Nothing beats Water.
Look,
Just
Series
Matt
5
Smith.
kind of does.
Series 5 is maybe my favorite, actually. My favorite series.
Mm.
I've seen only a couple of episodes of Doctor Who ever, and they were the David Tennant
the best
seasons,
Mhm.
and I loved it
Mm.
because one of my English teachers in high school loved Doctor Who, and whenever it was like we'd finish our exams and we still had like those like 2 days after school where you finish all your assignments and exams, and you're like, why are we
Yeah.
here? Mr. Sears was his name. He always would play Doctor Who, and he played
That's
the Stone Angel episodes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Blink.
Oh,
Which
Blink.
I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is so good.
slaps.
That's so good. Yeah.
They were amazing. But to go back to these, we were talking about like movie tie-in games and superhero
Yeah.
games and all this shit. Suicide Squad game got announced.
Mm.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it did, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's Rocksteady,
Now-
Can't
isn't
wait.
it?
James, why don't you tell us about this? James, what do we
Uh,
know? What's going on?
Well, we know that it's being made by Rocksteady, who made the Arkham games, and supposedly we're gonna get like a proper announcement reveal soon at the DC event thing that's happening, whatever it is, where they're doing more Snyder cut stuff. I think, I don't know. Fuck it. Regardless, Suicide Squad is supposedly rumored to be like an online co-op game. It's like a games as a service, sort of like DC's Avengers game, basically, is what I'm getting from the rumors. But it's not confirmed yet, so we don't know for sure. They're just rumors, but I'd probably bet on them being true.
Imagine getting Rocksteady to make an online like MMO Suicide Squad game. Imagine getting Rocksteady to do that.
Like, why would you do that? They could make, anything else, something interesting that has substance.
Just anything,
depth, but
just
no.
anything at all.
Yeah,
like
anything.
Fucking Captain Boomerang game. That's what we need.
Yeah, that'd be better. Would be better. But yeah, I can't say this is something I'm really looking forward to at all. Despite it being Rocksteady, who I think are really great developers. So
yeah,
it is a bit depressing.
I heard it's based off like the Justice League versus Suicide Squad comic or something like that. So it's basically going to be the Suicide Squad fighting the entire Justice League, which they just get arse fucked immediately.
I want to play as Harley Quinn. I want to play as Harley Quinn and fight Superman and win. I think it'll be really cool.
Baseball bat.
Yeah, I'll hit him with my baseball bat and he'll just die. It'll be fucking epic. I can't wait.
I just don't know what they're thinking with this. I really don't.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the point is.
It's such a weird turn. Like, just complete opposite of what they've done before.
I am not a fan of DC, other than Batman. So it's cool that we're doing the Batman games, but now I'm not interested. Nothing you're gonna do am I gonna jump into. And Suicide Squad of all things, games as a service, what are you thinking? What are you thinking?
You're gonna get to unlock a tier 3 explosive sniper rifle and shoot Batman with it. If that doesn't excite you, Tyler, I don't know what will, because that is gaming. So, you're not excited?
I'm out, man.
Damn
I'm
it.
out.
I was hoping we could do a 4 pillars get together and just. We should all get the game, and the 4 pillars should get together and just do a video where we all go and kill Superman over and over again to taunt Eddie.
That would be. I do it just because I hate Eddie and I want to hurt his feelings.
Yeah.
So
I'd love to see.
I would do it for that. Yeah, I would do it solely for that.
And even the actual Batman game that WB Games were supposed to be making, that's just not got anything recently. They announced it 3 months ago, announced it again, and then just fucked off.
Yeah, that's so
I thought
weird.
that's what this was. I thought that's just what this was.
No,
this is
the people who made
Rocksteady.
Origins are making a Batman game. Well, apparently.
Yeah.
And that's just gone
Warner
nowhere.
Bros. Montreal.
What are they gonna do? What sort of Batman? Like a sequel to Night? Or a whole new Batman game?
Absolutely no idea.
There's a bunch of
They've told us
rumors,
nothing.
A Court of Owls game, a Bat Family game with Robin in that, but at the end of the day, it just seems like it's a bit of a dead license. So
yeah, it feels like it's been in fucking development hell as well, because we've had so many reports of cancelled projects that have come out of Warner Bros. And everything since 2013. So there's just so much shit. They were originally going to do a Damian Wayne game and follow him and do that, but then they were like, no, we're not doing that, we're cancelling that. And there's just a lot of shit, so God knows what they're doing. But if it's gonna be announced at any point this year, it'll be at this DC event where they're showing off Suicide Squad. If they're gonna properly announce this fucking Batman game, but if they don't, I just refuse to believe it still exists, and it's just gone. It just doesn't exist.
That's fair.
So God knows.
Thought of DC is just kind of depressing now.
Yeah, it's because all their content sucks. Imagine fucking liking DC.
Yeah, it's an issue, man. It's a serious issue.
Nah, guys, Snyder Cut will save it. Snyder Cut will save everyone's
You're right.
family.
It'll save
from
not. Snyder Cut is like the patches in Unity, really.
Yeah, it'll
it turns what
stop
was
climate
a
change.
failure into. Yeah, of course.
We're all good.
Yeah.
It'll assassinate Donald Trump.
Yeah, it will. The Snyder Cut.
Oh God.
Wow.
I can't be here for this conversation. I can't be here for it. I've got to leave. I've got to get
The
out
Snyder
of here.
Cut will dethrone Avengers Endgame, and that's just how it is. That's not my opinion.
That's
$4 billion
objective facts.
It
made
just,
on
yeah,
HBO
it's just
Max.
subjective. Yeah. It's gonna make $5 billion. I'm telling you.
On a streaming service. Wow.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
It's gonna do it. It's gonna
happen.
do it. Yeah, because people will donate because it's that good. When you
they'll
see it,
spend
people
Yeah.
donate all
£30
their
for each time they
savings.
view it. Like
Yeah.
certain other.
No, it's actually because HBO Max is going to charge $120 a viewing. That's
Ah,
if you
right.
wanna
Okay, that
view
makes
it.
sense.
That
I mean, it is
Is
masterpiece,
reasonable.
So, yeah.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
the Sistine Chapel, but
You can't
know,
just
better,
go into it.
obviously.
You've got to pay to go into the Sistine Chapel. You can't just walk in.
no.
You know, you don't get to go
Unless-
into an amusement park for free.
No.
You line up, you pay your money, you get in there. That's the same with you want to see the Snyder Cut. You've got to pay $120 minimum.
Premium.
Or if you want to see Mulan live action remake, you got to pay $30.
Oh, that's awful. That is.
Let's talk about this. Disney Plus talking about they're charging $29.99 for the release of Mulan.
Yeah, I'm not paying that.
And
Nope.
potentially that's the beginning. It's definitely them testing the waters of what can they do in the future with releasing their films and making money off them, because obviously they spend hundreds of millions of dollars making their movies, and at the moment with COVID restrictions all over the world, they can't release their movies and they can't make any money back off of them. How do they do it? How do they release it safely and get people to see it and still make money? Their idea, I guess, here is $29.99 on top of your $9.99 subscription to Disney Plus. You boys are all mad about this, I assume.
Yeah, absolutely
Yeah.
not buying it.
I'm not doing that.
refuse.
That's fucking dumb.
It's awful.
Question:
That's so dumb.
would you pay some money for it?
For
Not for
Mulan
Mulan.
or for
Not
something?
for-
So
yeah.
let's say let's say a brand new movie. Instead of you having to go to the cinemas, there's an option, right, of $10. You can go to the cinema for your ticket or whatever it costs a ticket, depending on where you are. It's all over the place, but $9.99. Avengers Endgame comes out in cinemas, right? Or you
Yeah.
can watch straight away on Disney Plus, but for $9.99.
Nah.
No,
Cinema.
I mean,
Yeah.
cinema.
I'm not asking you, would you rather watch at the cinema? That's a bad example.
Okay.
Would you
Okay.
pay $9.99 to watch a new movie? You can't go to the cinema because of COVID.
Depends on the movie.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
If you were
Mulan
gonna
live
see it
action?
at,
No.
If you were gonna see it at cinemas, though, if you were gonna see it at cinemas, like Black Widow, you were gonna see that, James, at cinemas. Would you pay $9.99 for it?
See,
How
were I
much
just
is your
a
movie ticket? You were already gonna pay
Listen-
$9.99.
were I just a regular? Yeah, but I don't like the idea of it. So it's like I don't want to buy into that because I think it's stupid.
What
but
do you
also,
mean paying for your movies? I don't understand what.
But I'm
the
already
fucking
paying for Disney. If you want to
whinging's about.
release it, just fucking do it properly.
What do you
Like,
mean? You're paying for Disney Plus that has so
yeah,
much shit
so if
on
you're
it. This is a
releasing it on
brand
Disney
new
Plus,
movie. This
don't
is a
make me
brand new
pay
movie.
for it also.
It makes
Like,
no sense. I don't understand.
either
I don't have a
wait and
problem.
release it in the cinema.
I have a problem with how much they're charging. I don't have a problem with them charging for a movie.
It doesn't matter anyway. I don't care because I'll just fucking pirate it. It doesn't matter.
I hate that.
Who fucking cares? But
Lots of people care.
I think
Lots of people
I think if I were just a regular consumer, I probably wouldn't. Because I guess I just wouldn't for something like Black Widow. Whereas because I'm making podcasts and we want to talk about it and everything, I guess I don't really have a choice, so I'd have to. But yeah, I don't know. I just think it's weird.
What do
think
you?
the whole
I
thing
don't
is weird.
understand. You
If
pay,
they
you
want
pay
to
for,
transition,
if you
though,
bought a movie, you've got to buy the movie.
yeah, but if they want to transition to these streaming platforms, if that's what they want to do, it's different when it's just during this, during the pandemic or whatever, if you give people that option. But if they were to transition fully and they were like, we don't even have to show them at the cinema, let's just transition, put it all on streaming services, like Netflix does with their movies and whatever. They just go straight to Netflix, they're Netflix movies. If you want Disney movies to go to Disney Plus, then that should be part of the streaming service, the same as it is for Netflix. You don't pay extra money to watch Netflix original movies. So if they want to transition and put everything on their streaming service, then I don't think it's a business model that's going to work for them, to be honest.
So I'm just looking at the highest budget Netflix movie ever was $200 million budget, which was The Grey Man.
That's my favorite film.
Imagine Netflix spending $200 million. I just don't feel like that's sustainable for a Netflix subscription, for them to be producing movies at $200 million long term.
Well, it's
Up
not.
against
It's-
Disney. And then
It's,
you've got, you can't release Avengers Endgame only on a streaming service.
Yeah,
You're going to
exactly.
spend $500 million making.
Well, I also think the whole thing
doesn't make
dumb
any
as well.
fucking
I also
sense.
don't want them to do that either. Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather everything. Like, obviously, we're in a weird situation now. But when everything goes back to normal, I don't want to see them start releasing their shit on Disney Plus. I want it all to still go to the cinema and like be proper and
Exactly.
like you want it to be that big release. Like, I just think it's weird that
Yeah.
they would try. I don't know. I just think it's a strange situation that I'm not a huge fan of any of it really.
Yeah, because it seems like this
I
is the
get it.
direction they want to go in future. And like, sure,
Mm.
during this time, whenever everything's locked down, it's like I can see the charm of getting a few mates over and watching Black Widow just on a TV or whatever. Ordering
Because you could
pizzas
split
or
it to
something.
two other mates,
yeah,
$10
exactly.
each.
I can see that charm, but at the same time, like once we go out of lockdown, once cinemas open back up, I think nothing can obviously there's annoying things about it, but I don't think anything can recreate the experience of going to the cinema. Like if I saw like Infinity War, Endgame, even Civil War, just on my couch, it wouldn't nearly have the same impact as I did like watching it in the cinemas for the first time on that massive screen.
I'd never argue. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you about this.
Right, okay,
going
yeah.
to the cinema is my favorite pastime.
Yeah.
I don't care if
Same.
I've seen the movie before. Or I could watch if I could watch it for free at home or pay $10 to go to the movies. I'd pay $10 to go to the movies.
Yeah.
I love going to the cinema. I love the experience. Never get an argument for me. I'm just talking about, during this COVID time, I don't have a problem with paying money for a movie, but I do have a problem paying $29.99. That's
Yeah.
an issue for me. That's an
That's
obscene amount of money to pay because
Yeah.
in my position, it's just going to be like me watching it, and I'm definitely not paying $29.99 to watch Milan. It's not going to happen. It's not going to fucking
Yeah,
happen.
exactly.
Yeah.
I get it with Black Widow because it's a MCU movie and they've got a massive schedule and all that, and it's like loads of people want to watch it. But with Milan,
I
like,
would
how-
pay $29.99. I pay $100 to watch Falcon the Winter Soldier tomorrow because it's just.
That's fair.
Don't say
I
that
need it.
because
I
they'll
need
charge
it.
you.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
need it. I need it. I need it. I need it now. I need to see it.
Yeah.
Like, it was supposed to be out this month. I'm supposed to be watching
hell, really?
I'm supposed to be watching my fucking boys this month. I'm supposed to be watching my fucking boys this month.
That's such a
Sam
shame.
and Bucky.
Fuck's sake.
And instead I'm sitting here with my fucking dick in my hand and Captain America
Talking to
bobblehead,
us.
and it's just a fucking issue for me, man. It's just a fucking issue.
I'm not
for
happy
me.
about it. I'm not going to pay $29.99 for Black Widow either. Like, I don't even care if we have to make a
Yeah,
podcast.
I'm gonna do it.
I'll probably
I'm not
split it.
doing it. But
Yep.
obviously, I could pirate it, so we're fine.
Yeah. True.
I'm just but
Hypothetical.
what
It's like how you
obviously-
watched The Mandalorian.
Yes,
I mean, you've got the script.
I read
to
the
hand-
script that Jon Favreau sent me. Yes.
Yes.
I'll read the script. I'll get whoever's directing this film to send me the script over, and I'll read through it, and then we can do a podcast on it.
Perfect.
That's what I'll do. Yeah.
Even better.
Yeah.
Even better.
exactly.
And they've already revealed the whole plot line now anyway for Black Widow.
Have they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
on Twitter
she-
we already knew this was gonna happen, but they're just like Florence Pugh's character's the next Black Widow. And
Oh, I
it's
didn't
a
know that.
handover
Okay.
movie.
Yeah.
Which we knew going in, like that's
Yeah,
what
we
the point of
speculated
it
that was pretty much
yeah.
probably going to be the case.
And
but-
then the director's like, yeah, I mean, it's a handover movie to Florence Pugh's character. She's amazing, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, cool. I get that the movie's supposed to come out months ago, but it doesn't mean you get to spoil it. It's still going to come out.
yeah, you just spoiled it for everyone listening and for me though as well.
Yeah.
So that's okay.
Black Widow also dies, so
No, what do you mean? What do you mean? I had no idea. Oh my god.
yeah, so
Why even
inside
bother?
sources.
Fuck.
That's what it is. That's what
Wow,
it
this
is.
sucks.
Look, thinking about it, James, one
Thinking
year
about
ago
it.
today,
Yes.
I had the worst flight trip
Oh
of
my
my
god.
life.
Yeah.
1 year ago today, I left the UK and flew back to sunny, beautiful, gorgeous Australia in the worst travel experience of my fucking life.
Oh my god.
What a
it's
nightmare
absolutely
that is.
insane.
Yeah, which you can hear the story if you head over to patreon.com/as always and pay $1. You can listen to the Clubhouse where I talk about it.
Which
Man, I went
episode?
off. Fuck, who knows? Figure it out. That's your job.
Yeah,
Patron.
figure it out.
Pay me money and figure it out.
Yeah.
It came out around this time a year ago. Where like I was so like had to stop over in Abu Dhabi and just like almost missed the flight because it was delayed in London Heathrow, and by 2 hours, and I only had a 2-hour stopover, and then I landed Abu Dhabi. I sprinted and managed to get all across the terminal through security and to my new gate in about 6.5 minutes after I left the plane.
Insane.
I just ran through Abu Dhabi International Airport
Ran through
and made
Abu Dhabi, the place.
and made it to my gate as they were calling for boarding. I was like, brilliant, unbelievable, what a performance by Tyler.
That's great.
To do it. But most importantly, what happened before that travel experience, which was the trip and the 4 pillars assembling.
Yeah.
And it's been a year since the meetup. There's been lots of photos being reposted and memories being shared. And over the next couple of weeks, I'm sure all the videos we did a year ago, when we released them, will be popping up. But what do you feel now, James? A year later, after the 4 pillars meetup, what's your thoughts looking back on it all?
Oh, I feel fucking depressed because right now I'm not with the boys.
You're not with the boys, that's for sure.
Everyone's in fucking lockdown. It's pretty fucking depressing. But looking back, it was crazy. It's crazy that it's been a year already. It feels like ages ago, but at the same time, it feels like it wasn't that long ago. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is crazy the amount of like all the different fucking videos we made, all the shit we did. It was fucking great. It was such a good time, and the whole meetup as well was such an incredible experience. Just meeting so many people that watch our content and all that stuff. Like, yeah, it's so fucking crazy. And obviously that 4 Pillars Assemble trailer was a great time to make. Planning that out, filming all of it, and then putting it all together and just seeing it fall into place and just being fucking great by the end. Yeah, it was great. It was such a great fucking time. And now, everyone's depressed in lockdown, so,
But at least we have all those videos to look back on and
true.
Remember the boys, Remember your time.
Remember that McDonald's in the Morrison's car park, where we
went to
where we hang out
McDonald's.
with
So
the
I've
boys.
been to every McDonald's in Northampton. I've literally been to every single.
No, you haven't been to every. Wait, unless you have. Did you?
I have.
Have you been to the one in the town centre?
Yeah.
If you didn't go with me if you went to that one.
Did I go with George late at night?
Maybe. It's like just down like a regular sort of like high street with just shops and stuff.
I feel like we just walked past that one actually.
Okay, so you haven't been to them all. Okay.
Well, I've been out at the location of the McDonald's.
Mm-hmm. Did we go to the one at Riverside?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah, dude. I think the
We
day
went to
the
Western
Stones.
Fable, and we went.
You went to Western Fable the most. It's ridiculous.
Oh, we did. I think Wait, no, we went to Six Fields when we went to the Bit of Stone. So you've only actually been to 2.
I've been to 3. You fuck.
Oh yeah, 3. You've been to 3, and I think there's 5.
And I've seen the 4th. I was at the location of the 4th, so
Yeah.
right. I thought there was only 4. I didn't realize there was a 5th one.
Yeah.
Damn, I have to
Infinity
come
Stones.
back to go to the.
Yeah.
I haven't collected all the Infinity Stones.
You got to come to Riverside. The one at Riverside. There's this guy in there. There's the guy that like mops the floor. Well, at least I think
right.
that's what he's employed to do. I don't know.
Yeah,
Or maybe
he
he was
just
just.
shows up.
Maybe he was
Yeah.
just there. He was talking to me when I last went in there, and this was like months and months and months ago. About he was going on a trip to India to see his family and stuff, and he was telling me all about his family, and I didn't ask. But he was telling me all of that stuff while he was just mopping the floor, which was interesting. So you could meet that guy. He's quite a character.
Yeah, right.
If he's still there.
Yeah.
Part of the 4 Pillars
it?
Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, he is.
gotta
I don't know
have
what
him.
his name is. He didn't tell me. But yeah, he was very excited about going to India. So
Well,
yeah.
thinking about next time, I think now's the perfect time to talk about and plan and plot and think about what we want for the next trip, the next 4 Pillars meetup. Now, firstly, Joe and Walshie, where the fuck were you guys?
Well, I couldn't
Yeah,
come
that's a
because you said like you would check IDs and that if you were 16, and it was literally 2 days before my 16th birthday, so like I couldn't come. But also, I don't think many people. Some people might have knew me, but like I wasn't like mates with many people at the time. I don't think.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, you could have come. You couldn't come with a parent because there was 2 people that came with parents because they were under 16.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing. I could have done that. I
I
suppose.
fucking said it when I fucking announced it.
fucking said it.
I guess I just forgot. But
well,
yeah,
you know.
that would have been sick.
Yeah, right. And yeah, Joe, what the fuck's your excuse, mate?
I'm just a fake gamer, and I'm also poor, so yeah, didn't have the opportunity. Also, the only person I knew in the community at that time was Ozzy.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
And
I
he wasn't there because he was fucking in Persia,
Yeah.
a fake place.
What the fuck is Persia?
Yeah,
fuck
you're
is
right.
that?
I have no
Doesn't
idea.
exist.
That's where he
Nah.
thought he was.
Yeah.
But he's not.
No, he was in the psychiatric ward.
But nah.
Well,
Definitely
thinking
be
about it, thinking about it now, James. You know, initially once this all wrapped up, we're like Australia's next.
Australia,
It-
mate.
it
We gotta
would have
go to
been-
get the bloody wings, the Korean wings, mate.
And dude, I'm the best. Don't even tempt me. I'll order it right now. It was going to be like end of this year, start of next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All the lads come down under, the down under community members from Australia, New Zealand, you know, all come together. It would have been beautiful, but now obviously COVID. But looking at it now, what can we do next?
Nothing. The
if
world's
that's
gonna fucking end.
Well,
Scandinavia.
let's just say, is Australia still what on the table? Is that what we want, or are
Potentially,
we gonna
I mean, it depends.
pack it into the UK again? Because by the time this all ends and we can travel internationally easily and fluidly, I'll want to come back to the UK.
Yeah.
You know what I
Gotta
mean?
finish Celeste.
We've got to finish Celeste.
Yeah,
first
we've
of
got to
all.
finish Celeste. Yeah.
All the gamers are in the UK, and I miss all the gamers. And I don't know, I don't know. I feel like it could be years away. It could be 2 years from now before it's smooth. It'd be easier for me to just fucking find my way over there again. Then
it also depends on what all the pillars are doing as well. Because I mean, for me, I'm pretty settled
going?
with what
Yeah.
I'm doing. I'm just chilling in my house. I can sort of do whatever. But it depends what's Ethan planning to do in the future. Is George going to be hanging from the ceiling fan anytime soon? You know,
Jesus
Yeah.
without a penny to his name. But no, but honestly, if we were to go to Australia, how the fuck would George manage that with his awful financial skills?
He does have terrible financial skills.
Yeah. So I don't know how he'd manage that. I don't know what Ethan
it
would be doing. So
you know. I mean, Ethan could afford it, but it might be just as always an investment to get George over here. Crowdfund, do a charity stream for George. We could do it. To be fair, we could easily do that.
Crowdfund
We
George
could,
coming
honestly,
over.
it would take about.
Years.
Honestly, it would take an hour, and we could pay for George's flights over. We'll
Yeah,
stream
that's
for
true.
an hour.
Everyone would do it. Avery would show up, and he'd just be like,
100
"Ego."
Yeah,
Here's a ticket,
100%.
mate.
We would just do a stream of crowdfunding the next Four Pillars meetup.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we could
that makes
easily
sense.
do that. Very easily do that. In fact,
yeah.
I think we should do that. And it'll pay for the venue.
We can't exploit our audience. They already give us lots of money. And
First of all, it's not exploiting our audience. It's crowdfunding an event of which we'll create content for free because of it.
I guess.
Yeah.
I
I have no problem with doing it. And we will
yeah.
do it. I've decided.
Yeah, okay. The next plan, I guess it depends. We've got to wait and see, because it's probably going to be a while before we can even
It's hard to
sort
know.
it out with what's going on.
With the Four Pillar Cinematic Universe will continue. We'll do another Four Pillars Assemble
Yes.
trailer with the next movie.
But worst comes to
We need
worst,
some
we'll just
solo
meet up in a
movies.
Greg's.
Yeah,
train
that's true.
station.
Meet up at Greg's at the train station, and then do another trailer at Greg's.
Yeah.
Easy. Now, my plot is for this Four Pillar Cinematic Universe to grow.
Right.
Create another fake trailer for all of us to have solo movies. Now, here's my thoughts. Right, James, would you have a solo movie called Lasers with a subtitle or something, when your side characters in your life would be Elva and George and like Luke, and then George would have his own solo movie, wouldn't he? Would you not just do a Horsey and Fox movie as your solo films?
Ooh, be like Heroes for Hire with Luke Cage and Iron Fist.
Sure, I guess so.
Referring to the successful comics and not the Netflix series.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But the thing is, I'm like, the only reason these things happen is because you forced me to do them.
Yeah, I do.
And without you being here to force it into existence.
And here's the thing, that's the reality. What I'm doing is planning for the next trip. We're not just going to film 4 Village Assemble trailer. We're going to film 3 trailers. We're going to film a Fishy solo film, either a Laser solo film and a George one, or a Horsey and Fox one, and then a 4 Pillars one. Because I've already done my Dynamite one. In fact, I'm already planning it. It's happening. There's a Dynamite solo film trailer. It's in development.
That's cool.
That's happening. And yes, I will force it into existence, as you know, because that's the only way anything gets done.
Yeah, but I'm gonna need you here to do that, because there's no way I'm gonna just do it on my own.
No,
and
of course not. And I don't
put in
expect
the
you
effort.
to. No, of course
yeah.
not. Yeah, but if I'm there, then I'll force you to do it, and you'll have fun, because that's the only way I justify it to myself that I make you do things, is because you do still have fun when you do them.
Yeah, but you need someone to force that to exist, and that person's not me.
Yeah.
But once you force it, it's a good time.
Yeah. You could take that really poorly. Once you force them,
yeah, that's Ubisoft though. That's what they do.
Yeah. I mean, that's a weirdly bad, in poor taste transition into.
Oh no!
A segue.
That was not an intentional segue. I apologise.
Yeah, not intentional for any people that may be listening that might be offended. But we do need to talk about this. This is a important issue that's been going on in the community over the last. I mean, looking back now, a month and a bit. But the hashtag ACSisterhood has been exploding in the last couple of weeks, or the last week in particular, and I wanted to definitely talk to you guys about it, and this is something that we'll continue to talk about, I'm sure, going forward for a while. James, you want to give us a bit of for those who might not know, what is the ACSisterhood movement?
What is the ACSisterhood? Well, a lot of people obviously have taken this wrong because they've just seen the hashtag on its own, which I've addressed before. But basically, it's the ACSisterhood hashtag is they're not trying to change the word brotherhood into sisterhood. They're not trying to say that male protagonists are bad and we need only female ones. They're not trying to say that this Assassin's Creed moving forward should be a female franchise, which a lot of people seem to think that's the case. Like, they just want this to now be, let's make Assassin's Creed Sisterhood and it's just females and all that, like, change the word and whatever, and fucking bullshit. The point is based on what has happened recently with Ubisoft and their treatment of women in their company, in their video games, in the community, and the way
certain people at Ubisoft.
Certain people at Ubisoft, yeah, not just the whole company, but a lot of people that are in that community and work for the company, I would say feel betrayed by this community they were a part of and something they were a fan of, and a company they probably looked up to, and feel a bit displaced. And what ACSisterhood does is it allows for development, women that work on the development teams of Assassin's Creed or just at Ubisoft, that are in the community of Assassin's Creed, or as well the female characters within Assassin's Creed. It brings light to all of those things, supports all women, and is also a message to Ubisoft to show that the ideas that were set up by some of the people at the top, like Sergei Hascott, that women don't sell, is simply not true. And as a community, as fans of video games, we don't believe that, and we support women. And it's also a place for any women to feel, that they've got a place. They've got somewhere where they have a voice as well. And I think that's important given everything that's happened. And that's the point of ACSisterhood. The title is a play on words of the word brotherhood because it's related to Assassin's Creed, but it's also related to women. So it's sisterhood. It's just, I think it's a kind of fun name. But that's essentially the premise of what the point of it is. I think. Yeah,
absolutely. And it's sort of been being championed and started by two figures in the Assassin's Creed community, One being Culprit, who one of the mentors in the Mentors Guild, and Sebastian, who's Memento Gallery on Twitter, and he made a great logo and art piece for it that people are putting on their banners. But these two have been championing it and just really putting the movement on their back. So super impressed with them and happy and proud to support what they're doing as a Four Pillars community, because it's the least we can do, and it's true. And I don't think we really realize sometimes the influence we can have on people by supporting these sorts of movements, and just being out there and being a voice and being able to help defend it and explain it in a good way, because it's not some silencing men and it's women only's time and men need to shut the fuck up. That's not what it is. It's about being a space for women to be supported. This isn't some conspiracy theory against men. Men aren't a fucking victim here. This is a situation where, fact of the matter is, there has been serious allegations, serious events that have happened through Ubisoft communities, in particular Assassin's Creed, through their developers, as well as the misrepresentation of women through years of their games from people all the way at the top making just out of touch decisions. These things have happened. This is women being underrepresented. This is women in these communities and companies and games being underrepresented and mistreated, and it's just a fucking fact. It's not some conspiracy theory, and this movement is to support that. It's to be like, hey, look, we these things have come to light now to us. Those who are still here in this community stand with you. This is a safe community to be a part of. You're able to join and feel like you can actually be safe, and you're not going to get approached by some fucking creepy developer trying to slide into your DMs. You're not going to be abused, and you're not going to be misrepresented. This is a place where you can feel welcome and supported, and it's also, like you said, James, it's a message to Ubisoft. Women fucking sell. They fucking absolutely sell. Some of the best games of this generation are starring female characters. It's just ludicrous. It's just so out of touch, so ridiculous. But at this point of what we know from Ubisoft and what we've seen from Assassin's Creed over the most recent years, I'd expect nothing less from the high-ups that make these decisions at Ubisoft, is they are out of touch. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. And this is where we are. So by supporting it, we're just doing our part. And when you look back and think about what female protagonists we could have had that was female only, like the fact that Evie Fry wasn't a solo only female protagonist is so ridiculous. Ridiculous that didn't happen.
So much better.
She was genuinely a really fun character, and then you had Jacob that sort of just ruined the fucking game to me. It made the setting sort of a joke. It made the game a bit of a joke, where you had a solid setting that made sense, and it made a lot of sense to have a female character be in it. But again, females don't sell, and here we are. And they, as a company, made that decision. Sure, certain high-ups made the decisions, but that created this culture of decision-making that has snowballed and continued. And here we are again, years and years later, many games later, and nothing's changed. And it just doesn't make any sense now. It just doesn't make any sense now, because we as fans are paying for it. Even if you want... even if we would have had a male-only protagonist next in this next game because it made more sense for the story or whatever, I don't know. But I don't want characters. I just want one character. I don't care whether it's male or female, but the fact that we haven't had a female character yet is ridiculous, because it made sense so many times before where we should have had it and we haven't. That's where I'm at with that. That's where I'm at personally with that. And Xiao Yun, why the fuck wasn't an AC3 a Xiao Yun game? I think we all are aware of that.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know. Walshie, what's your thoughts on this? I know you're both supporters of the ACSisterhood movement.
Yeah, I think like this is one of the nicest things that I think I've seen come out of the AC community, because it can be really, I think it's brought out a lot of like the toxicity and some of the negativity in the community, but like the positives, I feel like it's definitely brought out the best at the same time, which far outweighs that. And I think it was Amir said on Twitter that the community has done more for women in Assassin's Creed, just in gaming in general, than Ubisoft have. And it's really nice to see everyone from different corners of the community come together for like a nice thing. It's quite rare, but like it is really nice.
Yeah. What about you, Joe?
Yeah, I'm on the same board. I mean, it's tough when you see those people who immediately saw the hashtag and thought, oh, this is an attack against men, this is an attack against, like, that's never what it was. And I've seen some people get their minds changed, but there's always going to be those toxic people that and just straight up sexist. But it is lovely to see so many communities coming together, like Jack said. And yeah, it's like the way Ubisoft have handled it. Obviously, it's been performative. They just put out a trailer, but hopefully that's emblematic of genuine change in the company. I mean, things have been moving around. We can only hope to God that it's not just to show, to try and like make a point. Hopefully, it's genuine changes within the company from this movement. But yeah, it's amazing to see.
Yeah. And I mean, I hope those changes come, and I hope when they do it, they're done with care and are thoughtful changes. Not everyone wants a female character, now let's just shoehorn it in and do a half-assed job and then do what we want next. Yeah. No, we want a thoughtful character that you explore in detail and give a real opportunity to, and make the decisions for a reason, right for a reason. I think that's what everyone wants, and it's what should have happened a long time ago.
Because of course, like ideally, it would be just a single character. So the fact that like you said, it would have been perfect for Evie to be the only character in that game. So it's not about whether it's male or female. It's just the fact that games that should have had female leads only have clearly been manipulated by higher ups so that they can advertise some big. And that happened with Odyssey. I mean, people have been using the Odyssey statistics of like most people picked Alexios, but it's like he's on the cover of the game. He was the main focus of the marketing. Whoever you market the game, like the main character as, people are going to play as. And the fact that they didn't market the canon choice, who was Cassandra, it kind of shows that. And they tried doing that with Eivor, and obviously now that's starting to change. So yeah,
it's probably too little, too late if you're talking about just statistics. But I mean,
no, but
you if you get the choice, you're gonna pick a male who's playing is probably gonna pick a male. You know, like it's just probably what's gonna happen. It might not. I don't know. Maybe I'm totally off on that. But I just think if you got a choice, people are gonna pick who they probably relate to, because if I'm a guy, I'm probably gonna pick male Eivor, not because I think female Eivor looks awesome and stuff, but like I'm a guy, I'll probably pick male Eivor. I also really like the voice actor. He's in The Last Kingdom and he's fucking awesome. But you know, then if I did another playthrough, I'm sure I'd go have a playthrough as the female one. But like, if you're gonna make one character, then you had those moments where it should have already been a female protagonist. It should have already happened.
They've got to do it right next, you'd think. After all of this.
Yeah.
Do you think the development team will come to them and go, we want to make a female character, and they'll go, no.
No, I think because the next game's already in development. So
yeah, true, but we could see some changes.
Already deep in development. Now, will they then... And the next game will have character choice again, or at least at this moment in development, they're already planning to have character choice. Now, will they change it where they're just like, just change so it's only the females the only option? Which to me is a shoehorn idea. Because the thing you get out of making character choice, and I think it was you, James, brought this up on Twitter, is the fact that you don't really get to explore certain character elements, certain traits that you can only get from a certain gender, I guess. Like, if you had a female character, there's certain characteristics you can really explore that you can't do with a male. So by having character choices, you're never going to get into that, and you're never going to be able to explore that. So therefore, if you change this next game that you've already really written, there's supposed to be both, and then it's like, oh, it's going to be female, but it doesn't really feel that way. It feels like it was written for a choice. Like, could happen as well. So there's a lot of negatives to not having a set character that you decide on. So to me, it has to be written to be female, with thought, with care, with reason.
That's the thing.
You
It
know,
needs to
there's
come naturally.
exactly. Look at Aloy, look at Ellie from The Last of Us. Like, two of the best video game characters of all time, in my opinion. Aloy's only had one game, granted, but that's one of my favorite games of all time. And those characters, you know, you can't just change their lines and change their name to a male name and have them do the same thing. It doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. It wouldn't make sense. That's my 2 cents. Maybe I'm off on it, but
I'm definitely
what you're saying.
It's an important movement, and as you said, Walshie, it's so nice to see the community come together on this, on something else, because honestly, what happened with all these allegations and that the last few weeks, months that was awful. That was fucking awful. I spent a week, all I could do was look at my phone and check Twitter while I was at work, and I was just filled with fucking anxiety the whole time. Like, it was just disgusting shit. And it just felt awful, and I just had a bitter taste in my mouth, and I was like, I don't want to... How can you be a part of this anymore? How can I even buy a Ubisoft title ever again? Not that I've paid for a Ubisoft title in a long time, but, like, how can I be a part of this? How can I support this? How can I make content on this? But then to see the community come together and create a positive result from the shitstorm that came out. Like, certain things have happened. The truth has come out, has come to light to the world, and we're now taking that, and there's a movement to create some good that can hopefully heal some wounds that have been created for so many people. And that's the important part of it. Yeah,
and give me a Shao Yun game, you fucking coward.
And exactly. And that's ultimately what matters the most, is a Shao Yun game. So if they could cancel whatever they're working on next and just make a Shao Yun game.
Yep. I'm not changing my Twitter until they do it.
Good on you, bro.
So, you know, that's me standing with women. That's what I do. I edited my girlfriend out of my profile picture so that I can be in a picture with Xiao Yun, of course, my wife.
Yes.
But obviously, I'm submissive to her as she's a dominant, strong woman.
Well, it's like a real life relationship. You get pegged, so it's fine.
But you know, Xiao Yun likes to rope dart me sometimes. You know, that's how it goes. I'm down for it. It's good stuff. I really want one. I really want one.
And definitely also have an Ezio prologue section as well.
Yes, please.
And just reboot the entire thing. Just restart.
And
Simple.
have it be the sequel to the Ezio trilogy and the first 4 games, the Altair Ezio games, and then have the next chapter of it be Xiao Yun and give her a trilogy.
The game opens exactly the same as AC3. Like, it's the same opening. You got William Mars doing a recap and everything's exactly the same. And then the game loads in, and then Desmond, like, everything happens the same, but instead of playing as Hatham, you still play as Hatham. But then you play as Xiao Yun after 3 hours.
But imagine playing as Ezio for the first 3 hours. I know, I'm stepping on the sisterhood movement. I'll backpedal. No, fuck Ezio, fuck him. No, I'm just joking.
Oh man, it'd be so sick. Could you imagine being Xiao Yun and walking into Ezio's Tuscan villa? And it playing a bit of Ezio's family, and you've got like all of his old, like, you know, bits and pieces around, like in Uncharted 4 when you can see all the collection that Nate's got. You'd have like stuff from the Ezio trilogy. That'd be cool.
And you're going through a study and you see like an old memory seal sitting there.
And you pick it up and go, I'm gonna fucking look into this memory. But it's just Altair though.
Christina's necklace she gave Ezio.
Yeah.
like things like that.
Codex pages.
Katarina's panties.
Yeah, just lying about. He kept them. He kept
Yeah,
them.
not really. Yep. Okay.
He wears them and gets pegged by Sophia.
True.
Classic Ezio.
Classic Ezio. That's why
That's
you
his
do
secrets.
it. Now I understand, James.
It's because of Ezio, yeah.
That's why you let Elva peg you.
Um,
Because you want to be epic
Jesus
assassino
Christ.
like Ezio.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That makes all the
Yeah.
sense in the world now.
yeah, it does. That really does. Thanks for that theory. Fuck me.
Yeah.
Nah, Alva already
That's
does
the
that.
sisterhood, though. Okay. But that's the sisterhood, though. At the end of the day, it's all about pegging, I guess.
Okay.
Is what we
Well-
boiled that down to.
I know you're blacklisted again.
Well, honestly, that's what so many of these fucking idiots on Twitter that are like, oh man, you must be. Someone goes, you must be really fucking trying really hard to get laid, man. This is a really
It's
low thing to try to get laid to support the sisterhood. I'm like, man, I didn't know I had that much trouble getting laid, but thanks for letting me know. I didn't know that. I didn't know I struggled that much, but thank you. That's
Yeah, you
definitely
do.
why I'm doing this. That's
You struggle
definitely why
so
I'm-
much, so you can get a text from a woman on the internet that goes, "Thanks for supporting the movement," and then you jerk
Yeah.
yourself off.
Yeah, that's exact 100%. Must be the only possible reason I could
Simp.
be supporting this movement. It couldn't be because it's
Simp.
definitely the right thing to do, and is just beautiful thing to bring the community together. It's because
Yeah.
I'm a cuck and
Yeah,
I'm
you
trying to
are.
get attention from women.
I bet you liked The Last of Us Part 2, didn't you?
I did. You've got me.
Fucking hell.
You've got me. You've absolutely got me. Beta
Big
cuck.
old SJW propaganda right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You,
Yeah,
you
it is.
SJW
Yeah.
beta cuck.
Oh, but
Yeah.
it's amazing seeing these trolls talk. Like, so many people are making accounts. Where I'll go on their
It's-
accounts. I'll
oh
see. I'm like, who
God.
is this? Would even say this? I'm like, oh, they have no followers. They follow 2 people, and they've got tweets dating back till yesterday only. Cool, right? It's fucking cowards making accounts
you
because they
care
don't have
that
the
much?
balls. They don't have the balls to say it as who they are. They don't have the balls to share their real thoughts as who they are. So they're like, oh, I'll have to create another account to just shut them down because I'm really fucking tough. And men are men, and men are the victims. So fuck you. You guys
Try
can't be
being a
victims.
man in 2020.
Try being a man in
Impossible.
2020. It's really
Oppressed.
hard. It's the easiest thing in the fucking world. It's just
It's so weird that those
Yeah.
people actually exist. Like, you see these Twitter accounts say this
Mm.
dumb shit, and it's like that. There's the actual person behind that. Like,
yeah.
you just
Yeah.
have zero
weird.
empathy.
Yeah, but they're cowards, and they wouldn't say
Well,
any
yeah.
of this shit to anyone's face. And
Yeah.
I don't take it seriously. Like, I don't even spend the time blocking these people. I'm like, say whatever you want, man. Say whatever you want, because you're a fucking coward. That's why you're saying it on an alt account, and that's why you're saying it behind a keyboard with an avatar of a random video game character. You fuck. Like, show us your real face, use your real account, and then hey, you got a problem? Come see me. Come see me. Say it to my face. No one would. Fuck these people. You know what I mean? Like, no one's. Yeah, I had nothing to say to these people. They're absolutely lost, and I just hope they fucking grow up and just learn some basic empathy and just understanding others, and yeah.
Mhm.
It's a brilliant movement. It really is, and we'll continue to support it for a long time, and it's certainly until they make a Xiaoyun game. Those cowards.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it. I will not change my banner, which also, by the way, I think it looks fucking great, but I was insulted by Memento Gallery, and I feel upset about it. But I personally think my banner looks really nice and cool.
I do too.
Because
I
I
thought
put
it was nice.
Xiaoyun on it. I thought it was nice. It's minimalist, just nice. Xiaoyun sort of bleeds onto the page. It's quite nice. But yeah. Xiaoyun game, please. You fucks.
Pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Shit. We've covered pretty much everything. Pretty much everything.
Mm.
Not
Joe,
bad.
Walshie, did you boys have anything else you wanted to discuss, talk about, share with us today?
I don't think so.
Well, I mean, as always, I want to talk about Assassin's Creed Unity because it's an underrated masterpiece. But I feel like you guys would probably block me on Twitter if I mention it. So I'll leave that be for this one.
For this one, maybe
once we get you on the
Yeah.
Eagles Call podcast, a significantly more successful one, then we'll then we can have a chat about underrated gems.
Talk about Assassin's Creed.
More established, more viewers, and better product overall.
And also Assassin's Creed, which means it's good, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's better than Conversations, so
Certainly,
that's not
but
really
everything
anything
is.
Bar.
Yeah.
just exists.
So-
Just exist. Yeah.
Existing, would be makes you better than Conversations.
Yeah.
But
I'm not
People are
liking
actually going to
Superman.
think at some point we genuinely hate them, and we've got some like beef rather than.
I genuinely
chips.
do not like either of them, and every time they're on the podcast, I honestly feel just fucking sad. But
Yeah, well, good point. You know what? Now that you've said it, I feel like I am brave enough
Yeah.
to say it.
yes, thank you.
and stand
Objectively, Conversations, I don't like them. As people, as human beings, I think they're morally reprehensible.
Morally reprehensible. Right.
Fuck what I'm talking about. No, I just think their podcast is shit.
Yeah.
It's not that deep.
Sorry, that's
was
my
on
that's
there.
my bad. That's my bad.
All four of
because
them.
It's,
Yeah.
I'm the reason they exist. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
I
were debating
apologize.
going for. Me and Jack were debating on going for like 5 just to top them. Get a couple anime podcasts in there.
A couple
Be
anime
perfect.
podcasts.
just a couple.
Not just one. Not just one.
Not just when you need 2 anime podcasts.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
At least.
Sure.
Yeah.
At
Yeah,
least.
makes sense.
Brilliant. Well, boys,
that.
thank you so much for joining us today on this episode
Yes.
of the As Always podcast.
Yeah,
been
it's
great. Thanks for
cool
having us
being
on.
It's
Yeah,
great getting you
cheers.
on, and it's hopefully the first of many, I'm sure, you guys joining us, and I'm looking forward to seeing how you guys continue to grow the content you produce, and ultimately the dream of any father is to see his children eclipse him, and that's what I hope to see one day from you guys.
Nice.
But
Thanks.
actually, I'm really a sociopath that cares more about my own success, so I hope you fail, crash and burn,
yeah.
and if you start to get close to eclipsing me, I will probably have you killed. So that's just a thing that I
Understand,
thought
makes
I'd
sense.
throw out there, and I will stop it. Or, before you get big, I'll purchase your company, and it'll become a property of As Always, so you can't eclipse us.
Yeah,
Um,
we're gonna have a monopoly on gaming content.
Ultimately,
Yeah,
that's the
what we
plan.
do.
Sure.
Yeah, to
Monopoly
stop
on
them
YouTube.
before they get too big. Yeah.
Yeah, just
And
switch
then
that
if you
YouTube
get
logo.
big, if you get big, I own you, so I'll reap the
Yeah, of
rewards
course.
and take the credit. So, and I'll be like, well, you'd be nothing without me, even if you would have been.
Yeah, like you own James'
Yeah.
channel. It's just the natural progression of any
Yeah,
good
cool.
YouTuber.
That's true.
I've owned James'
second
channel since
channel, isn't it?
2017. Not many people realize that.
Yeah.
I like James
Yeah.
a lot. I'm pretty kind about it. I don't really brag about it or tell people a lot. I let James kind of have the credit for it. But ultimately, financially speaking, I get a 95% share in everything. And not a lot of people know that. But
I
I've owned
really
the channel since
appreciate
2017.
that you let me keep the name and didn't change it to Dynamite Vlogs. Like
Yeah, I
you did
did.
intend to originally.
That was my plan. But
Yeah.
I'm just a great guy. Just a great
Yeah.
guy.
You
And I
are. You're a
thought
great
a better-
employer.
A better punishment is to make you continue to do multiple podcasts with me for years and years to come.
But get no money out of it because it all goes to your bank account.
95% of it, not all of it. Don't be a liar.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
true. You are generous.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are generous enough.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
But yeah, it's been a blast. As to
Yep.
quote the
Yeah,
first ever.
as always.
Yeah, as always. Per usual.
As always, don't say per usual. It's as always.
Per usual,
Not yet.
like normal.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
until you buy
Yep.
us.
Yeah. But yeah, boys, thanks again. And of course, thank you to the Sweet Vintage lads over at patreon.com/as always for making this podcast happen. We have the podcast credits list now to roll through the incredibly long, obnoxiously long, some might say,
Yeah, we
credits
just kick
list
back
for
now.
the podcast. Now, James, am I reading this?
Yes,
Is that
please.
what's... Okay.
You care more than I
Go.
do, so you can.
I
just
do. I care so much more than you do about
Yeah.
our audience. So thank you to the Sweet Vintage lads that help power this podcast. And obviously, thank you to everyone that watched and listened to this podcast. If you like what you listen to here and want to hear more, head over to patreon.com/as always for just $1 a month. Get exclusive access to the best podcast on the internet, the Clubhouse podcast, on every week this podcast is released. And to thank the $5 tier and up, the credits tier, you get read at the end of the podcast. We have King Richard III, Josh, Duh Vil Yay, Damian, Olberik, Avry Dobbs, Viridian, Adam Sundling, Cat94, Nick the Gaming Prick, Real Cinema, Colton the Creampie King, Morgan McCann, Ballsack 47, Casey Wood, Pinkflame 313, Lumistrad, Mara 5380, Call Me Big Pappy, Ooga Booga, Chinga, Wooga, Tooga, Mooga, Looga, Sooga, Vooga, Pooga, Rooga, Sooga, Zooga, Yooga, Dooga, Jesper Olsen, Kimasaba Gamma Cream Pies, Billy, the Team Dynamite Captain Robertson, Seth, Kevin Bond, Sicarius, aka Kieran, Henry, Justin, Team Anna Travis, Aragon, BQ Overlord, The Elder, Son of a Bitch, OG Doggo, Ravjar, Jin doesn't understand how you're World War One, Joshua Mora, Brian Ford is playing The Witcher 1 for the first time and loving it. Joe the Sexy Boy Smith, S. Shores, Emil Catball, Kyle, Benedict Clobbers, Furious Coco, Noah Watts, Fishy, Ginkgo Swag, Master Bass, Max H, Luca, Winona Ryder, aka Lindsay from Destination Wedding. Our guest right now, Joe the Lioness Charming, Arse-Eating, FoundedScarab, aka Monkey Desard, Riley Reed, Pegged, wait for it, Kassassin, The Creed, Nick Miller, that was a big hold while I changed pages, Sam2557, Owen Brain, our other guest, Walshie, Josh J. Anderson, Belle Delphine on Conversations, Boogie Woogie, Boogle Boy, Smexy Dog, Gwen Hughes, Evan Brown, Ra Doc. By the way, James, I'm going to need you to tell me when to stop because I can't see the tiers.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Xiao Yun, but not the male version because that's whack. Fat fuck cuck. I'm not moving on from Rocket Man. Victor Eliasson, Bleeding Edge 274, The Discoverer, and Usufructory of Marquis 1989, but then also the #1 Eagles Call fan. No Mojo, Philip Stillwagon, Jack DG 1998, Give Me a Penis, Marcus aka Blackburn, Fickle Wickle Suck My Pickle, Poplop Is Not Dead, Mag aka the guy who makes his own Assassin Christmas, Kyle, The Swan Swam Over the Sea, Swim, The Swan Swam Back Again, well, Swan.
All right,
Aiden
there.
Robertson, okay.
No. Aiden, no, stop there, but then carry on, because Aiden Robertson is $1, and then there's a bunch of $5 after that.
Greenie's Weenie, Jess is beating the wife with Liam, Anti-Cure, Saul Goodman, Riley Reed, welcome Riley Reed, The Blue Cow, Creed Landmarks, Heresy, aka Bad Assassin, Alexander Ashton, aka The Midnight Simp, Gamer Vids, Star Explorer, Rainy Not Sunny, Blake Lloyd, Louis De Leon, Lady Litzomania, Zeke aka Colin the Cock in the upcoming Marquee sequel written and directed by Ben Higgins, Dishing Desmond, Tristan Obergfell. Are we still going?
Yeah, still going.
Evan the Kitty, Angel of Harlem, Big Dick 666999, Zippo,
That's
Montana.
the last one. No, that's the
I
last
won't
one.
read that last one. Thank you, Sweet Vintage Lads.
Wow,
Power
there we go.
this podcast.
Fucking hell.
That was-
Wonderful.
That list is something else.
And to make that list even longer, head over to patreon.com/. As always, you won't regret it. You can make it longer for $5 or more. You can be on the list, and you can just make the whole podcast a list if you want to do that.
Yeah, do it.
For some chaotic
please.
energy.
Please, and then I can quit my job and just do this, which is what I want ultimately. Because yeah, exactly. So once again, go check out Walshie and Joe's channels. Their links will be in the description, as well as their podcast, The Eagles Call, releasing every Wednesday, but also not because I haven't figured it out. Thank you guys, and honestly, super fucking proud of you boys and how far you've come, and I really do look forward to continuing to watch your journey and chat to you guys on these podcasts and be a part of it also.
Thanks, man. It means
Thank
a lot.
you.
Stuff.
Genuinely.
Thanks for having us as well. This is insane. Like, neither of us expected this. This is mental.
Yeah.
It was gonna happen one day, and I thought, hey, look, let's just do it now. Let's just do it now, and we can say when you guys blow up that we were there at the very beginning.
And then
we were
can
always
say all our
believers. And we were always believers.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, it might be a
great.
psychological intimidation move for me to kind of let you guys know, hey, look, this is who the big boss is. Right? Just fucking watch yourself. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Guitar
mean,
on
last
the
week we had conversations on, so we had to sort of we
Upgrade.
had to step it up a
Yeah,
little bit.
recover.
Yeah, makes sense,
Wash our
understandable.
mouths out a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
With some classic AC YouTubers, of course.
exactly.
I don't know
That's
what
what we
you
needed.
choose.
Exactly right.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so thank you, boys. And yeah, cheers, ladies. It's been a blast, as always.
Thanks, man.
And we will
Wayne
see you
Gelford.
all. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Waves Gelford. We will see you all next week on patreon.com/, as always, for another episode of the Clubhouse podcast. And in 2 weeks' time for episode 130 of the As Always podcast. Thank you, everyone, for watching and listening. And we will see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye.